chat. So you're okay. So it is. So people can. Okay. So now we're live. All right.
Okay. Cool.
Let's move this. All right. So let's. What time is it? 2:30. All right.
Oh.
So we'll just start, and then you're not rolling on that yet.
Not yet.
And you have audio. We still got to mic ourselves up. So
yes.
While we're going, we'll do it. But where do you go to make it not unlisted?
There should be a live control room, like my live events under your account.
Oh, really?
Here, do you want me to pull that up while you get the mics ready?
Yeah.
Cool. Hey, dog. I promise I'll have you back on my lap later. But right here they are. Here we go.
Cool. Just make it. Go ahead and make it live.
All right, right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Any tags you want for people to find?
Just put like movie, live stream.
Live stream, Creed, Joe Nation.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Let's go ahead and save those changes. And here we go. We're about to go public.
All right.
Here we go. And publish.
Okay, let's go back to the stream. All right.
Okay, I'm pretty sure we just started going actual live, not unlisted live.
And that's the people in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Maybe we'll prop. We don't need to prop this up. And maybe we'll have like nobody in there.
We got
one person in.
Yeah!
Come on in.
All right.
All right.
First viewer.
Mic yourself up. Sweet. You take your shirt off if you like.
Maybe I should like slide off camera for that.
All right. Paul, what's up, man?
Hey, Paul.
Let's get this TV on. So we're just getting set up right here.
Yeah. And just let me know when I should hit the record button on that camera.
Oh, yeah. And then we'll hit record on here as well.
Yeah.
Okay, we got 2 people up in here.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, we got our little friend here. Oh,
we're not in Joe's apartment, I'll tell you that.
Yes. You love Creed, don't you?
Oh,
because
no.
You are a good dog. Good dogs love Creed. Joe doesn't like Creed.
All right, so sitting in the corner. And then is it focused up?
It was when you were sitting here, but you can double check. There's a punch-in button.
Oh, okay. And do I just punch in?
Yeah, there's like a magnification magnifying glass.
F3.
You watch Creed, don't you? You think that Creed is just as good as the original Rocky? Yes, you do.
That's it. You are there.
Hey, okay, so we got 13 people. Hey, Gideon Ryan O'Connor. Ryan, you have a great first name. It's a very powerful first name. He said as he went to pet the puppy again.
All right.
Microphone has to be switched on too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just to plus 20 dB.
Plus 20? All right, so I'll start rolling on.
There's a little record button on the right side.
How much time is this?
2 hours,
2 hours
40 minutes.
Perfect. All right.
Okay, we'll just periodically check it.
All right, everybody. We're
And start on the mics too.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. Hopefully the levels are good.
All right, yeah, this should be. This is only 2 settings. I'll hold. Do this. Yeah. Okay, everybody, thanks for joining. We're just getting started here. We still have to order the movie and all that, but it's coming through. Okay, we're going to start rolling on here. Okay, so what's going on is that we have another camera that's recording the video that will eventually go live on the channel because we want to let the world know if they don't see this live stream, they'll be able to see when it goes live here. Oh, we should plug this laptop in.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. We're not really prepared. We just get a last minute, but hey, we set this up in like 10 minutes and we're in my neighbor's place. I'll be right there. Hold on. This. All right, cool.
Okay. Oh yeah, it's just there's an outlet right here.
Okay. Let me go to here. Input.
All right, computer's plugged in, so we are good to go.
We're at my neighbor's place.
All right, everybody, this is Joe's intervention. Today he will be admitting once and for all that Creed is in fact as good as Rocky, the original Rocky.
Oh, hell
And
no.
Joe, listen, your friends and family are concerned that you've had this wrong opinion for so long. It's like, at some point, you can't deny the evidence.
I can't not agree more.
You can't not agree more.
I can't, because
So
if I
that
agree
means you
more,
do agree.
no, if I say that, if I can't agree more, that means that I would agree with you that I think my mind could be changed, but I cannot agree more, meaning...
You know that there's going to be a Steven Crowder meme of you behind a table saying that like, Creed sucks, changed my mind.
It's been a running joke for years, even though the movie is so old. Okay. So
Ryan O'Connor, I must admit Creed is definitely as good as... Yes! You see? Ryan O'Connor knows.
I'm already getting a little disappointed.
I am not...
And people here.
I'm not joking here. I'm going to be explaining to you why Creed is so good, and by the end of this movie...
There has to be a couple rules, so we'll let me get it going. Sorry, it's a little delayed.
Wait, whoa. But I think the original Rocky was trash?
Oh. See? We got some opinions up in here. Okay, I'm trying to figure out...
Total random reviews. Get out of here with your
Google
Rocky
Play.
5 is the best.
Google Play.
Ivan Drago.
All right, so give us a minute. We can't show the actual stream, which sucks. But what I will do in the final version, I'll be able to cut that. I'll lay it in the video, and so we can painfully watch it. He showed me how to use this. So we're at my neighbor's place, and he showed me how to use this, but I already forgot. So I'm struggling to figure out. I think he said I had to go to a different input. I don't remember.
As you can probably tell, we have spent long, sleepless nights preparing for this.
But as you know, mic levels are good so far. Oh, cool, great.
While we're figuring this out, I'm going to try to attempt to say this person's name at their request. Auden O'Hara. Auden O'Hara.
I'm gonna call my neighbors.
Aiden, says Ryan O'Connor. Worrying how they got into the neighbor's place. Shh.
My neighbor's we're there's a couple, and we walk their dog all the time. And they're always like, "Come on over, hang out." We had dinner last night. I was like, "Hey, can I use your place because I have a projector?" And what up, man? Hey, I forgot how to get it on Amazon on your TV.
Best stream ever.
Okay, which remote is it? The black one. It says home. Where does it say? I got to turn on the TV for. I don't see the home button. Do you see a home button? Oh, you know what I meant? Oh, I see home. Okay. Oh, there it is. Beautiful. I'm in.
Excellent.
Thank you, David. Yeah, everything's good. If you want to watch us, go to my YouTube channel.
David's the best.
All right, man. Thanks, David. Talk soon. Bye.
Multiple people are asking, did you try turning it off and turning it on again?
I know, right? Okay, so I got to now type it in. Here we go. Go to search. I would have just went to original selection, but I don't think Creed is that original.
Well,
so.
Joe, while you're setting that up, let me just point out that Ratan Mutti says, I love Creed. That one-take fight is amazing. I agree with that. I actually think that is a brilliant scene. I actually sent that to Joe at one point saying, dude, how can you say Creed is a bad movie? Look at this scene.
I am pretty disappointed in that scene. It was unnecessary. I know what Kugley was trying to do. He was trying to stand out and be cool and figure out a new way to tell a story, a new way to show a fight scene, but it's pretty weak. You can tell that it was very choreographed.
He's putting you in the moment with Adonis.
Okay, so this is how we're going to do this. We have the screen here. We also have our main camera there, so we're going to do an intro to that camera.
Oh, okay, cool.
And we'll play it back and forth. I mean, we can interact with that one, interact here. We'll cut back and forth. We'll see what happens. All right, so for everybody watching the live stream, we're going to give this camera some love.
Okay, cool.
All right. Hey, everybody, what's going on? My name is Joe Nation.
And I'm Ryan Larkin, a.k.a. Think Fast Productions.
There you go. Today, we're doing something very special that we've been wanting to do for a very long time. There's a movie called Creed. It's based off of the Rocky Balboa series, and it was released in 2015. And I saw it in the movie theater because it was so hyped up, and I was really hoping for a great film. And I was just saying I was pretty disappointed in the film. And ever since it has left open wounds in my in my heart.
Did you say open wounds?
Open wounds.
Joe's friends and family have been very concerned for a long time now because he's been wrong for just so long. And denying the evidence day in and day out is just not good. Even this puppy thinks that you are wrong.
This is Nina, by the way. We're not inside my apartment. We're inside my neighbor's apartment, who was David, who was very kind to let us use the space because he has a lovely TV. And I will say this, I haven't seen it since I saw it in the theaters, which was in 2015. So maybe my mind could change, But I will say this. I'm not a huge fan of Ryan Coogler. I wasn't impressed with Black Panther. I think that was overhyped as well. So we'll see where this goes. And how I'd like to start this off, what is your opening statement for Creed? 30 seconds. My
opening statement is that Creed is as good, if not better, than the original. They're two different things, so there's a case for both. But it is a perfectly worthy movie of the title "Great Movie." Okay, and I think that you are wrong. I think you've been wrong for a long time. Okay, I think there are various moments in this film that are going to emphasize that. Okay, and we're just gonna have to see if we can change your mind. Okay, yeah, it's one of those change my mind, Joe Nation. My statement is, when I sit down and watch a movie, I really want to relate to the character, and I want to be in the rough with him and experience life with him. And there has to be stakes. There has to be a purpose as to why he's doing what he's doing. And to me, it's also about, the storytelling and the writing and how one piece of the film, one story element, like a B story, complements another. So I feel like every word, every little tweak in the story has to benefit somewhere else in the story. If it's just there to be there as a quick little, thing to get to point A to point B, then I think the writing and directing is slacking and wasn't well thought out. So, one last thing. Yes. Here's the thing. If you look at the inevitable scene where he runs with motorcycles and you question why he's doing it instead of just letting yourself feel, I'm afraid that you're just closing yourself off too much. You got to open your mind a little bit and experience the film. Not just think about everything. I'm actually really looking forward to watching that piece of cinema. I don't even want to call it piece of cinema. All right, cinema. You're right. It's art. It's art. Oh God. Okay. It's gonna be fun. All right, so we're gonna start playing it. Okay. And here's one thing. Here's one. I want to make sure I'm good. Here's one note. Watch how our mics are. Yeah, let's keep them on the table so we can watch them. Here's one note. We have to watch the movie just as if it's the movie itself. I don't want to go back to relate it to all the other Rockies. Just this movie as itself. Yeah, as a so someone who's never seen any of the Rocky movies, how does this movie just play by itself? You can do small references. I think it actually plays better as a standalone piece. Okay, so I mean, here's the thing: Rocky was all about the underdog coming up from nothing. Yeah. This is about a guy who starts out with everything, but is fighting a big battle with himself. They're in completely different worlds. Okay. That's a good point. That's the only point. That's the only point that we can go back to. But I like that. It's a good point. All right, so we're gonna start playing it. Everybody who's in the chat room, let's give these people in the chat a minute or two. If you have any questions, we'll be referencing here. Let me just point out that Ratan says he runs with dirt bikes in the scene because that's Coogler's version of the Rocky Steps. Yeah. Okay. So even at a logical level, it makes some sense. Somebody did. Okay, we'll get to the film. Dirt bikes are hella popular, but you would never see that happen. That's so illegal. That was so illegal. Okay, here we go. Which remote? Okay, here we go. Rent. My neighbor was kind enough to say, "Hey, you can just rent it. Don't worry about that $4." What an awesome neighbor. Let's give it up for David, man. David's a man. I asked him if he wanted to be in this. He was like, "I'm at work, or else I would." You have 30 days to watch this. Okay, here we go. Okay, we'll watch it every day. The volume's good. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining in. Yes. Ooh. Okay. Can you see? Is your eye line good? My eye line is perfect. I'm not missing a moment of this. Oh, you're right. Okay, cool. You're good. Yeah, it's still recording. Warner Brothers, here we go. Yeah. Get comfy. It's a shame. I wish we could legally show this to people. All right.
I'm already pretty bored.
Yeah, well, it's the New Line Cinema logo.
Yeah, we're at the logo right now.
How much can you ask of the New Line Cinema logo? Okay, good font.
I like the little, there's
Good
little
font.
undertones.
It's got a rough urban font.
Let me know if the volume's too loud or too low. Okay, opening shot in the hallway.
Ooh, Los Angeles, California, 1998.
That's good, great year.
It's good. Can't hear anything. Oh, there we go.
There we go.
Boys, let's go.
Oh, we have the
Come on, tighten up. Single file, gentlemen. Center of the hall.
Thought we were in a hospital.
Come on.
Established we're in what?
Condition, you know what?
Oh, detention center.
Let's go.
Yeah. Okay. Something's crazy going on. There's a fight. We're at the fight. See, it's all been one take so far. Oh, he's fighting.
And it immediately, something that I already like, this film starts us out in a totally different world than Rocky started out.
Oh, you're referring back.
And it's
Yeah.
But
Okay, I understand. You can make this point.
the world is tied to this unique character and kind of his identity. Right?
Okay. So we're establishing the character right now. We're establishing Adonis.
Yes.
Adonis. Okay, there's a woman now. She's ordering something from a takeout.
I think she's just signing in to the facility.
Oh, yeah.
I think she's helping out her boy.
I thought she was getting some McDonald's.
I think her boy got in a fight.
Adonis got into a fight today.
There you go.
If you want to see him, we're gonna have to go up there.
Okay.
He's
I like-
a kid. He just fights.
I like that they've avoided saying the word Creed so far. That's good. Still have to get around to see
Creed 2. Maybe we'll do
Creed.
Creed 2. Yeah? Depending on how this does. Let me sit on a pillow because I'm so short.
It's a very quiet opening. It's like once the fight is over, it's pretty understated.
Trying to set the mood.
Adonis.
He's got some hits on his head, you know? It's on his face.
Yeah.
I'd like you to meet Mrs.
Mrs. What? Still avoiding using the word Creed. They're not going to cash that check too early.
Can't, man.
They got to set this movie apart. This is its own thing. Rattan says the opening is quiet and subdued. Yes, which goes against your expectation. You think they're going to go bigger after Rocky 5.
I'm not for a group home.
You're a social worker.
No. I am not a social worker.
Oh, he doesn't know who she is.
Oh.
So he's in.
Wait, it was.
You can say something on my
Oh, we can't repeat that. We can't say what he just said.
I'm sorry about that. I know what it's like to lose someone.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So Creed's mom is dead,
Okay.
and Apollo died. in the
Okay.
ring.
Push family away.
No problem, fun.
So we're at the beginning of the film. So
Robert
We'll
Anderson
set it up.
says he's in class with students who don't say bad words.
Oh yeah, we won't. Don't worry.
Yeah,
about it.
especially now we can't repeat some of the.
We have the captions on too, so it's kind of distracting. But actually, it's helpful.
Okay, so we have a woman who knew Creed's father.
That's my husband.
Oh, oh!
Oh my God! Plot twist.
Look at this reveal.
Coming back at 9, but you people come and stay.
Okay, so
You wanna do that?
so Apollo cheated on this woman with Adonis Creed's mom. It's already very complicated.
Yeah,
We've
I
got-
think the little bit of writing is kind of complicated from the top. You know.
What was his name?
Oh,
So are you going to say the word? Nope.
go.
You don't need
Went
to.
to black.
You don't
Went
need
black.
to.
Save of the freaking movie.
Oh,
the
the title card.
I don't like
Yes.
the graphics either. The
Yes.
graphics pretty weak. It looks like they just scrolled through Photoshop.
By the way, I've been petting this dog the entire movie, and then when I clap my hands, the fur just kind of formed a cloud.
Okay. All right. Modern day. Look at those ripped abs. Those biceps.
This was Michael B. Jordan preparing to play
Tijuana.
Killmonger.
Present day, 2015. See a couple nipples. So these are some underground fights, right?
Yeah. Good continuation of the Joe seeming like a real hater right now. Hell yeah. Good continuation of the first scene though.
All right.
He fights. That's what he
part
does.
I remember in the trailer where he's punching the wall.
No, he's not punching the wall. He's psyching himself
Punching
up
the
for
wall.
the fight.
I will say this, in the trailer, they used Apple Loops as one of the tracks.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I just watched it today, and I was like, they really use Apple Loops? Okay. Well, they some added to the budget.
Let me point out what I like about this scene. He's alone. He's completely alone. It's very.
Okay.
He's in very tight spaces.
Okay.
We're with him, but he's got nobody in his corner. Literally.
Okay.
And that's
Okay.
how he feels at the start of the movie before his new mom picks him up.
Okay.
He's alone. He's fighting everybody. He's lashing out.
But we haven't experienced him for the past 20 years or so. You know? Like, what has happened to him in all those years? We don't know.
The way that this film's shot, though, it's putting you in that box with him where he's just kind of, he's entirely alone, and then when he comes out into public view, he feels like everyone's screaming at him to fight.
But then here's my issue, too, is that we don't know why he was in that detention center. And then there's been 20 years, so what has been his life for those past 20 years? But then as we go on, we learn a little bit more. Okay, so now he's boxing.
And the camera still hasn't cut. You notice that?
Well, yeah, there's been some camera tricks, you know, when
We're
it's black.
we're still in the moment. We're still in the moment with him.
Kugly trying to, you know.
And you know where he puts us?
One takes.
Where he puts us in this shot, we're outside of the ring looking in. We're among these spectators.
We're spectators.
Who are just, because
that was cheesy. That was a cheesy fall. You have to admit that.
What?
You see that? He was like, oh, and just fell right over.
Well, he hasn't been knocked out yet. Or has he?
He's already taken off his gloves. See, he's already showing his cocky. Okay, so now he's at
that
his job.
That was a great character detail because that was in the background too.
He's at his job.
Yes. He doesn't.
What does he do?
He's wearing a tie and he looks very awkward in the tie somehow. Even though Michael B. Jordan is a good-looking guy,
Great-looking guy.
But after all the information we have on this character, it's really weird to see him in a tie working at a place called Smith Boardway.
It's more financial group. So, and then if I remember here, he gets a promotion. Okay, so like, he's going to get fired now? What's happening?
What you got there, says the guy behind the desk.
Or is his resignation?
You get a promotion and you're quitting. Yes.
Got a promotion.
Yes. And you see how we picked up on the fact that, like, based on what we know, he doesn't belong at Smith Boardley. And now this scene reinforces that.
But to me, it's like, see, when I saw this in the theater, when he pulled up to here, I thought that he quit his job to become a janitor and start like cleaning this house. I didn't realize that this is the house he lived in. So I want to know what got him to this point and what was his life for the past 20 years.
Look at the car he's driving.
I know. That's why I thought he worked for like a, he was quit his job to become a janitor.
But like,
that's my issue so far is that, okay, so we had this guy as a young kid. He got in trouble, so he was at this detention center. He got into a fight. This woman came in, picked him up, started living at, invited him, I guess, now to live in her in her house.
Well, yeah, because he's her adopted son now.
Yes, and he had a great job.
Oh, YouTube plug.
He's watching
right
YouTube.
there.
He had a great
Creed's
job.
watching YouTube. He has good taste.
Made good money. Got a promotion.
Oh, something significant's happening. Adonis Creed is now watching the old tapes of the fight between Apollo, his dad, and Rocky.
Okay.
It's footage from Rocky.
I wonder who uploaded this because it could be copyright infringement.
Something that I love about this scene is that Adonis is not watching it. As Adonis is watching this,
oh no,
he pantomimes Rocky's moves, not his dad's. And that's a great detail that they don't overstate. You just see.
But see, okay, so it's established that he's angry at his father.
Well, it's to establish that he doesn't relate to his father. He doesn't view his father as like someone as like his father's legacy isn't something to embrace; it's something to fight.
That's an interesting note that you said. Okay, I feel like it was just kind of cheesy. I know what they were trying to do. I know what Kugli was trying to do, but it just seemed kind of cheesy. I think that there was a better way to do it.
That was great. That was visual storytelling. He could have had him just say to his mom, "I don't want to hear about my father."
See,
but instead
also,
he had a scene where he's just watching the old fight.
You can finish. You can finish. I'm going to let you finish.
I'm going to let you finish. Real happy for you. I'm going to let you finish.
But he's watching on a projector. He probably had full surround sound and everything. So All right.
Okay, so Creed wants to move up in the world a little bit from his quote-unquote barroom brawling fights.
Yes, because he just doesn't
to
like
the
on the
local-
ground.
to the local boxing circuit.
So now they're establishing, his dad died in the ring. Sure you want to go that route.
And believe it or not, we're like 10 minutes in, and we still have not heard the word Creed. So
We saw it, though.
We saw the title
Saw
card,
it.
but no one has said it. This movie is determined to be its own thing.
We make a chance to the down by Jim. We're not dancing. We're not singing. We fight.
This kind of reminds me of that Karate Kid. The enemy deserves no mercy.
We get it right.
See a bunch of sweaty men.
Hey, listen up.
Oh, I love this moment.
Here's the keys to my Mustang right here. Get out here. All you have to do is land one clean headshot.
His Mustang. How do you think he got that Mustang? Daddy gave it to him?
I like these.
graphics.
I like the graphics
I
they
like the
said.
graphics.
What?
Yeah.
Why not?
It's too like YouTube-y, too video gamey. It's just I'm surprised they use it.
It takes you out of things.
Yeah.
But it lets you include details like their win-loss record, which kind of adds something to.
I understand
It makes you feel their threat a little bit more. Like, we know this guy's tough. Clearly, he's training at this gym that this guy just said trains champions.
Oh wow, look at that.
Ooh,
See, he's getting a little cocky though. He's getting a little cocky here.
Creed is caught. I love this scene because it tells us it reaffirms both the good and the bad things about Adonis's character. He's like, he has lots of energy and he follows through with what he says.
See, I don't like that slap. That slap was a little cheesy.
Oh,
Here's another one.
Danny
Little
Wheeler.
in. Okay, here we go.
31 wins, 0
1-0.
losses, 0 ties. You see? That makes you. And I like how here, you can instantly tell that Creed is having second thoughts here.
Showing some
But
doubt.
he's staying with it because he's stubborn.
Says a lot about his character.
Because he has to fight. He doesn't know how to walk down. He doesn't know how to do anything else.
And the Mustang that Miami gave him is on the line.
He's going to lose his Stang, but he's going to do it. He's going to go down swinging. Oh,
One hit.
there you
One
go.
hit.
And, oh,
One hit.
brutal. Creed just got punched in the face twice. I think like if you Photoshop Joe Nation's face onto Creed's opponent, you would have a GIF right here that would live on for centuries.
Some body hits.
Just Joe Nation is punching Creed all over the place.
I mean, I see what they did with that camera shot, but it was a little too much. Now he's already. Oh.
Yeah, saying Ryan's. Forgive me if I mispronounced that. Ryan's making good points, but it's hard to focus considering the cute animal in the frame. Aww,
It's all right. All right. So look at this house. Look at this house.
it's great.
How much money do you think it's worth?
I love it because it's in a different world than Rocky came from. It's a house that he doesn't feel at home in. It's making like physical.
How old is he?
What
supposed to be
Creed
now?
feels. He's 20-something. He's probably like my age. Oh wait, I'm 47 in the
He's got a red eye. Ooh. See, I don't know. It's just to me, I don't care for him yet. I don't think they sold it yet because I really want to know what happened to him, why he got to where he was, and why he's here now, and what led him to this point of where he wants to make that change. I'm not really rooting for him yet. I don't feel like they established it yet, as opposed to
I
this
think-
little subtle.
Up until this point, though, the movie's been all about establishing that Adonis feels alienated from the world around him, both like at an interpersonal level and in terms of where he's physically placed. He's in like this big mansion that he didn't earn, that his father earned. Like he's kind of he's as out of place here as he was at that financial company.
Why is he out of place?
Because that's not the world he came from. We were introduced to his world in the youth incarceration
But
system.
see, that's why I feel like it was a little lazy, where it didn't really show you his struggle.
But it's literally started with a struggle.
Yeah, but it was so basic. Like I want to know, as I said before, like how did he get there? Like what was he doing? And then these past 20 years,
How
because
to get into
he was
juvie?
he was what, probably like maybe 10 when he was in juvie, right?
Yeah.
But then I want to see these 20 years. Like what happened in these 20 years? Because he had it all handed to him and made for him. So what struggle did he go through then? I still feel like that's a point that's missing for me. So in these first, about 20 minutes, I'm not invested in him yet because all I saw was one, he was in a fight, was being a dick in juvie. And then he just wanted to fight some random people in an underground little little cave, and then he had a great job. And he's like, I want to leave the job, but he's not really. We're not really. To me, I'm not really experiencing why.
I think I don't think we're supposed to necessarily like him yet, but we are supposed to get him. And I think what we do get is that he's like constantly, he has this inner anger, and like he feels a little lost. He feels a little like he lashes out a lot. He's very impulsive.
Well, maybe he needs to see a psychiatrist.
I think he's
or a therapist.
He's looking for an outlet, really, and like with the barroom brawling and with Juvie, I think that's the impression we're supposed to get. We don't need to know why he ended up. It's just like one of those things. You got to open yourself up to the emotions. We feel that he has a lot of inner. Like there's a lot of conflict within him, and he hasn't yet found an outlet for it through fighting because he hasn't accepted his father's legacy.
Okay.
So I think that's what we got by now. Like that's
okay.
And again, I can explain this, but you just gotta feel, Joe.
Just gotta feel. I still feel it yet.
I'm sorry, I know nothing about any. This is Jesse. I'm sorry, I know nothing about any of these movies, but watching this for the first time, I'm agreeing with Joe's comments right now. But maybe
I feel like you're making some good points, but I feel like if you're watching it like how I am. You just want a little bit more information.
Okay. Oh,
but you make great points. But that doesn't make it to me. It doesn't.
Oh, we've got a lot of movie left, and he's just met Rocky.
Yes, now he's Rocky.
We're in Philly, and we have Sylvester Stallone.
Sylvester's great.
Sylvester Calzone.
I cannot understand what the fuck he's saying at the time. He has like cotton balls in his mouth or something.
Hey, these aren't my pajamas. They still have sleeves.
Let me fix the angle a little bit. There we go.
Sylvester Stallone is an Everton fan. Oh, interesting.
So they're in the restaurant.
Ooh, Apollo. He's a perfect fighter.
Ooh.
So Rocky is telling Adonis that his father was perfect.
Did they date? Perfect puppy.
And that the only reason he went down was because of time.
Oh, we didn't establish that we're watching Creed. I guess in the feed. Yeah.
We should probably type a comment or something that says, by the way, for all who are here, we are watching Creed. We just can't legally show you the footage, so we're just kind of occasionally commenting.
I guess people will comment.
Creed 1, not Creed 2.
That's for maybe part 2.
Yes. By the way, didn't you appreciate the framing a second ago? Creed's talking to Rocky, and they're standing right in front of a photo of the fight between Apollo Creed and Rocky. From back in the first movie. Creed wants Rocky to train him. They still have not said Creed.
What a spoiled little brat.
They still have not said Creed.
What a spoiled little brat.
It's
mommy takes him out, Yeah,
now
Rocky's in a mansion.
Rocky's saying the same thing. It's like, well, you have everything. Why would you want to? Why would you want to do this? If Apollo were around, he would tell you too. But that's the thing. That's why he wants to fight, because he knows his father wouldn't want him to do it.
But then towards the end, it gets kind of weird with the father, though. I feel like a lot of time he's trying to avoid being his father and start his own legacy. But then towards the end, you start to question what he actually did it for.
Well, I think at the end he realizes you can't fight who you are, and his father's history, and his father is part of who he is.
So he spends the whole movie trying not to be his dad, but then accepts the fact that he is part of his dad.
This is one of those.
And then he did it for his dad.
This is one of those movies where the main antagonist is the protagonist, because Pretty Ricky Conlon is not like he's a thug, but he doesn't like he's not the person that Adonis is training to be throughout the entire film. Throughout the entire film, the opponent he's trained to beat is himself, and that's why the final fight is so. Spoiler alert! That's why the final fight is so satisfying, even though he does lose.
All right, so they're still in the restaurant, they're still chatting. Asked him if he could train him.
Ooh, Adonis just asked Rocky who won the third fight between him and Apollo, and Rocky says that Apollo won it.
All right. They're like, we're actually watching you.
That's true. This must be a pretty odd experience with no Creed footage to give it context. It's just kind of like yelling about Creed.
Yeah, wish there was a timer so then people could jump in it when they wanted.
Yeah. Well, for the future, maybe. We'll just put one on the bottom of the screen. Okay, so we just finished our first scene with Rocky and Adonis, which was great.
I was on his iPad looking
Oh,
at
we're
that
introducing
fighter, right?
we're introducing Pretty Ricky.
He's
Ooh,
pretty.
I like the HBO Sports bug here. It's a little world building thing.
Okay. Bakes it in reality. You know?
Unlike like the whole Ivan Drago thing where they're trying to like, you know, you're not taking that really seriously. You got an attempt to make you believe that this happened and like this is almost documentary style.
Yeah. And he's a real fighter, right? Is he a real fighter?
Yeah, he was a fighter, like the actor was. He was retired when they shot this, but I think he's great. And it's funny because in some ways, Pretty Ricky is closer to where Rocky came from than Adonis is, because Adonis came from like this super luxurious like life, not initially, but like at the time Rocky met him, where Pretty Ricky says he battled his way from California streets to American stardom. Danny Wheeler.
Get some of those moves, guys. Get some of those moves.
Oh wait, were they talking?
Thanks, Ian. Okay.
What did Ian say?
He's only 25 years.
Oh, jeez. Well,
It's not about the numbers, man.
Hey, if we had the Creed footage here, it would be like.
No.
If we had the Creed footage here, all of the Creed fans would be coming out to watch.
I'm glad there's only 25 people in here.
Why? Because
imagine like thousands of people watching this film.
Because you'd be getting skewered for not liking Creed.
Yeah, could be. Could possibly be.
What do you think of this shot? We're watching Adonis Creed tossing and turning in bed. It was a wide shot. He's now walked.
Maybe he's thinking about.
We're following him again. We're following. Ryan Coogler does this a lot, where we just follow him.
Coogler, yeah.
And we don't cut. We don't change angles. We're just. The camera gets up and goes with Adonis Creed.
I don't know. I'm not sold on Coogler yet. All right, so here's some noise. There's probably some loud music, so he's upset.
Oh.
Then he sees a hot chick.
Yes, he opens the door. Oh.
Okay, his face was a little...
That's a cute reaction. Like, he came down because he was angry, wanted to complain. And then when he sees, like, he's attracted to the girl, all he can think of to say is, I'm done. That's a cute moment. She thinks he's a bro. She's saying, you gotta wake up early, do your jaunts. I get it. I'll turn down the music. And then she's gonna turn it up.
Good for her.
Yep.
Good
there
for
you
her.
go. Adonis can feel the disrespect, but
she's hot to him. So, she's hot.
Ooh.
Okay. Now we're outside. There's a dumpster shot. All right.
Zach says, do you need the tossing and turning, or can you skip to the sudden wake up scene? I think the tossing and turning, like if they had just skipped straight to opening her door, I think it would have missed what his emotional state was as he knocked on her door. So I think the tossing and turning helped because there's loud music playing.
Italian stallion. Are they going to do another one of those cheesy graphics?
They're not cheesy. They add the. I forget.
Yep, there we go. There it is.
Okay, 17 wins, 12 by knockout, number 4 ranked light heavyweight. This is what Creed. I think the reason I like these graphics is that's what Adonis is seeing when he looks at these guys. He's not like just. He's going over what he knows about these people and evaluating the threat that they kind of.
I feel like they could have done a better. They could use a better graphic. They could have maybe cut to a news segment. You know.
No, the graphics are something that this movie came up with that works really well for me. They
did
a way better
graphics on the YouTube video.
I saw them in Suicide. But did you see Suicide Squad?
No.
Okay, they used them terribly there, and by contrast, this is Oscar worthy. This is Creed 1. Creed 1.
Yeah, we haven't moved our way up to Creed 2 yet. Okay, now he's running outside in some tights.
I watched first Creed just to watch Creed 2 because Dolph Lundgren was in. Dolph Lundgren is pretty cool.
What'd you think about Creed 1?
Creed 1, I like what Ryan just said about the graphics is what the guy sees when he looks at the guys, but I wouldn't have thought of that unless you said it. Yeah, I mean, I guess that is a problem. If you don't get it on your first viewing, you probably won't.
Oh, she's singing
okay. So
now.
the girl that Adonis met earlier is now giving a performance. She's a musician. It's like at a nightclub.
Wait, how did he know that she was there? And he was just going on a little midnight jog?
I think we were debating graphics, and I forgot. I think he walked into a nightclub, and he happens to see her.
I chose to watch this to study for my midterm. Thank you. I appreciate
Thank you, Jesse.
My hair here. Oh, my hair's like that. He's probably all sweaty and stuff inside this club.
Creed is cool, but you can't beat original Rocky. You know, there's a case for both of them. They're two different beasts. I like that. I like how the scene just ended there. Like,
yeah, he kind of stalking her now.
No, he watched her. He's like,
did she invite him?
Well, he noticed that she was giving a performance, right?
Sounds
and he just
creepy
stopped. That's it. Ryan Coogler did not insist that like they have a conversation. They like move a significant.
So you're starting to imply that he's a little bit of a stalker because if he sees all these fighters, then he sees these graphics and he sees their stats and stuff. That means he's stalking them. And then he met this girl who he said, "Hey, could you lower the music?" She raises the music, kind of like to diss him. And then now he's creepily going on a workout, but then ends up at a club that she's performing at, and he stands in the crowd, probably all stinky and sweaty, and staring at her. You know, I know what Coogler's trying to do, establish a love story and all that, but he's a little bit of a stalker.
I think he's going for a more grounded approach where you don't have to have the characters interact. You just like show that you introduce her playing loud music that keeps Adonis up at night, and now you show him like listening to the music a little bit more. It's like you're forming that.
How did he know she was there? Was there a flyer? Or
I have to admit I missed it. I think there was like a notice outside the club or something like that had her picture on it, and he recognized her. I don't think he just totally creeped on her, but
you never know.
Yeah,
never know. Well, what happened between after the club and then right now?
It was such a little moment because like a scene from the beginning to the end of the scene, something has to change, and like in that scene, it was very understated. It's like Adonis did not say 2 words to her, but his perception of her has changed. Mm-hmm. Like she's gone from being the annoying girl who plays loud music to like more of an artist in his mind, yeah. And that's important because of what's about to happen.
And it's only because he's a stalker that he ended up at the show.
He's not a stalker. He doesn't stalk her, and he's not a stalker.
All right, so now they're at the van. He's helping unload some things for the restaurant.
He's asking Rocky to give him some drills.
Yeah, he wants some drills.
Rocky just referenced those woodpeckers that take a sip of water, then come up, then take a sip of water, then come up. Do people today even know what those are anymore? I don't know. Those were on their way out when I was a kid. 5 rounds of jumping rope. This is Rocky's training regimen. 5 rounds of jumping rope, 3 rounds on each of the bags, the heavy bag and the peanut. When you get to the heavy bag. Okay, so he's giving him some tips. And then 5 rounds of what?
I like his hat.
You got to be a certain age and or club level to pull off that hat. Like if I tried it, I would look like some of those guys on Reddit who post odd things. It's not quite a fedora, is it? Or is it a fedora?
Yeah,
it's a fedora.
Yeah.
There was a Charlie Gold says there was a flyer. See, he didn't stalk her. He noticed there was a flyer.
Did he notice it right before he went in?
Yeah.
But how did he know to run that route? See, I think Coogler was like, okay, he's a little bit of a stalker. Maybe they had to do a retake, like insert shot later on, after they filmed it.
By the way, I like it when Adonis kind of stumbled across Rocky, as he's going up to him, he starts hoping to unload the van.
He's just kissing his ass.
It's a cute moment. It's like
kissing his butt a little bit. I think it's a good choice.
It's
He's saying
just
that he's helping out, but you know
he doesn't. But again, it could have been done through dialogue. He could have just said, "Rocky, man, I respect you," but instead, like Ryan Coogler found a non-verbal way to do it. He just has him help unload the van. That's a very good thing. It's a small detail that works.
To me, also, it's like, you know, he seems like he can be a little bit of a spoiled brat, and so he knows how to get what he wants. So he can be like, I'm going to show a little bit that, you know, I can help him out by, you know, moving these boxes.
I don't
Because
know.
now, is he ever going to help him again? You know, in terms of moving those boxes?
Well, isn't later in the movie Rocky starts wrestling with some health problems, right? And I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I can't wait to get to those health problems.
Okay, see,
okay.
Another
so
scene with the girl, and he's knocked at her door and he's asking her out because of the last scene, which was beautifully understated. We know that he's changed the way he looks at her.
Did he tell her that I went to your concert and was creeping on you? I was all sweaty after my workout.
He doesn't have to. All he wants to do is ask her out on a date. Ooh, she's agreed.
Well, he's a handsome man.
Yeah, and he's being very respectful. He's okay. She said yes. What's he gonna do?
Very lucky.
He's standing outside her door.
As long as he doesn't tell her that he's stalking.
Oh, and a rando just came down the stairs and said, "Good luck, man."
Yeah. See, because he probably been noticing that he's been stalking her.
It's funny because aside from the scenes with Creed's mom, this is the first time in the film that we've seen him doing something that has nothing to do with fighting. So the moment he's standing outside her door and looking awkward, like enough for a rando to say "Good luck, man." That's kind of another cute detail because it's like he doesn't know what to do. Adonis doesn't like pickles. Put extra peppers on that John. Did she use the word John before relating to him, right?
I recall,
like,
maybe.
Yeah, when she was telling him,
he's
you
paying.
gotta get up early.
He's paying. What money is that?
Oh, yeah.
Did you see that? That was like some really fake money.
Well, they got a sausage sandwich, or was it a steak sandwich? I don't know. But it was very Philadelphia.
You should have paid it with Bitcoin.
Oh, she's explaining what Johns are. That's good because I had no idea. The sandwiches are John's. This restaurant's a John.
Kugli was trying
You're
to
John.
start a new word.
Is it because is it like a take on John's, like like in pimp speak, like
I have no idea.
a John?
It's never taken off though. I never heard of John.
Has anyone in the comments ever heard the word John used outside the context of Creed? Please let me know if so.
Said most stalkers are pretty polite. Thanks, Scott. See.
I love everyone who kind of pops in and says, "What are they watching?" I wish we had a giant banner that just said, "We're watching Creed" behind us. Oh, he's finding out that she has a hearing disability. She needs a hearing aid. And
That's why she plays loud music?
And he just found out that it's progressive and that she's eventually going to go deaf, which makes her career as a musician even more interesting.
And I'm caring for her a little bit more than I care for him.
I think it's because he sees a connection with her because she's fighting against what the world seems to be telling her. She's a musician who's inevitably going to go deaf, but who insists on playing music anyway, just as he's like a fighter who fights even though everyone says you're gonna, even though everyone says, "Dude, this is stupid. You got everything. Why would you do this?"
Well, I care about her already more than I care about him.
She is interesting. Is she more interesting than Adrian from Rocky?
Oh yeah, in that sense, I don't know.
She's definitely from a different world. Adrian. Paul Orr, the only John slang I can find is found in prostitution or the toilet. Not a surprise it didn't catch it. Yeah.
Oh, it's JAWN.
Yeah, but I think it was like supposed to be like a spin-off of the word JOHN, like in pimp speak, like the girl and her John. A pimp is a John, maybe synonymously used somewhere else in the world to maybe imply an alpha personality. Yes, it's world building. Oh,
did she
did notice him watching her before. That must be why she agreed to this not quite date. That is, in fact, a date.
Can I roll with you?
This is dialogue that, I don't think I could get away with saying.
Yeah,
that's another thing I appreciate. I want to show some love. It's not a line that I think I could pull off.
Can I show up?
Can I show up? Show
I
some
never
love.
said that to a girl before. Can I show up?
It's like, what if you'd invited me to this live stream and I was like, okay, yeah, I want to show up, show some love. You would have immediately texted, like, dude, who stole your phone?
Okay, so we're at the.
Paul Orr came in with a definition, slang, chiefly Philadelphia, something, any object, place, or thing. That's not good word choice, John.
All right, so
we're at the graveyard.
Rocky's at the graveyard.
He's leaving a bottle of liquor at whose grave?
Is it Mickey's? Is that Mickey's? No, Paul. How many was it?
I didn't
Paul
see.
Mickey?
Is Adrian dead? I think Adrian's dead.
Of course.
I'd forgotten that.
You didn't know that?
Oh. What do you think of Rocky talking to himself in the graveyard?
I think it's cute. You know, he's an old man. He's going a little senile.
Well, why is this okay? Like, why is this
watching? He's reading his paper.
Why is this okay? Like this with you? Like as someone who generally questions.
I think it's cute. He's going to visit his wife. Spend a little time. You know. And why is it not okay with you? Is it not okay with you?
It's fine with me. I was just like questioning because that seems like the sort of thing you might have beef with. Like, oh, Ryan Coogler just had him say all these things because he couldn't figure out how to show it visually.
I mean, I think it just shows that he's done it repetitively. So you're establishing that, you know, he really cares. He wants to go visit her all the time.
And he's old-fashioned.
Yeah,
that's kind of an old custom.
And I didn't say he might be going a little senile, you know, just reading the newspaper and stuff. So
I like that scene made us feel realize the connection that Rocky sees between himself and Adonis too, because he felt very alone in that scene. Like all the people that he loved are dead. It looks like, and he was framed. You know, he was filmed in like a wide shot, like with crosses all around him. It was a very alienating shot. And that's good because I think he's about to agree to train Adonis. Well, he gave Adonis some workout tips, but I don't know if that counts as training. Oh, Leo. That's the one we got the stats for earlier.
Yeah, he got those stats.
He's 17-0.
Is a stalker. Look at those tats.
Those are some impressive tats.
Yeah.
Makeup artists outdid themselves.
Maybe we'll get some tats after this.
Bubbly Production says that's a nice lamp behind you guys. Yes, that is a nice lamp.
Thank you.
It's actually fits their name, Bubbly Production, because it's like bubbles.
Oh,
it's bullcrap. It was Paulie's grave. It's bullcrap that they killed off Paulie. Burt would have totally done the part, but I understand it's a Creed movie and not a Rocky movie, but still justice for Paulie. Yeah, Sean, here's the thing. I think having like that scene with Rocky surrounded by headstones and just kind of where everyone's dead, I actually think that paid off for them for this one. One of your subs didn't get a notification of the streaming.
It's okay. Neither did 350,000 of them. That's old school. Old school peeps. All right, so now they're going to chat a little bit. Maybe he's going to take him on under his wing. Hey, Nene, come on. How you liking the movie?
Creed is the best movie ever. Yes, it is. Thank you. Natisha85 says, Brian, hi.
I can never see this movie now. Is there compared to this?
Here's the thing: you got to play our commentary over the movie because, again, Joe, you're editing this with some of the footage, right?
Yeah, I think I'm just going to trim it down to the highlights because there's, sometimes there's silent moments where we're trying to pay attention.
Yeah, this is just real time. Like this is our real time response. Oh, you see, after the graveyard scene, you've got Rocky now asking Adonis to step into his office being the backyard. That's a good character. That's a good detail too.
I like that. We're establishing
Rocky's a man who comes from he wouldn't have a big swanky office.
He's reading the paper again. He's old school.
Oh, hey, is this a training montage we're getting?
We're almost getting there.
Yeah.
Going the chicken like old school. I like that.
Yeah, he's making Adonis chase chickens.
I know when he had like the wheelbarrow lifting the people up. We're getting to that point.
What music are they playing with this?
Probably some Apple Loops.
No.
I tell you, go to the trailer. When he's running,
I have to verify this later.
Apple Loops. Oh, you'll hear it.
Samuel says, which one is Joe? Oh, that would be me.
I think they
I'm Joe.
CGI'd a lot of this. Like that, it's all CGI. Like yeah.
Wait, they CGI'd him hitting
Yeah,
the bag?
and the jump rope and everything.
No.
Yeah.
No.
It's all CGI.
No. Michael B. Jordan had like 3 roles in a row that required him to be ripped. There's no way he would fake that.
I think they CGI'd his muscles too.
Did you hear that Killmonger's coming back for Black Panther 2? They haven't said what context.
Is Coogly coming back for Black Panther 2?
Yes. Yes.
I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Coogly, guys.
No. I've seen this. Vice Marshal, I've seen this movie enough to know exactly what scene you guys are watching. Yes.
Joe's also full CG. Thanks, Patrick. Okay, so now he's facing the mirror. He's facing himself. You know?
And this is another symbolic moment. Notice how he says every time you punch this guy.
Himself.
What was that? I'll leave you two alone for a while. What does that say? What does that say?
It's a battle against himself.
Yes. It's because Adonis is 2 people. He's he's the legacy that he's his father's son and he's his own person.
The legacy that he's trying not to be affiliated with yet. We'll see what happens at the end. This is where I feel like the writing's a little off. And I feel like this is a Coogly problem.
Wait, this particular scene or the movie?
No, just in general, the movie.
Okay, he went over to the girl's house.
But doesn't she live in the same apartment complex? I'm confused.
Oh, yeah, he went to her apartment. He was visiting her. Basically, they're getting closer. She's freestyling on a toy xylophone, and he's freestyle rapping. It's your boy Donnie from LA to Philly. This is again dialogue I couldn't pull off.
You can do it, Ryan. I believe you.
Oh, I want a cheesesteak. I'm so hungry. Hungry for the title. I'll settle for a cheesecake. Cheesecake. The cake that you make. The cake that, actually I can pull this off.
Can't even rhyme, man. He's not even rhyming. Okay, music's playing.
Here's the thing. Can Michael B. Jordan, in the world of the movie, can Adonis Creed, rap better than that and he's, trying to make her laugh? Or is he genuinely not talented at rapping?
I don't know. That's a good question. I think he's trying to hold some back.
Okay, this is a nice quiet moment where they're listening to music and laying on the floor, looking up at the camera.
Did she consent? Did she consent?
He just kissed her on the cheek.
Did she consent?
And now she's turned to look at him and they're staring into each other's eyes and it's a charged moment with some romantic music. Are they going to kiss? Are they going to kiss?
Uh-oh. 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 It's like a Spider-Man moment. Uh-oh. But did she consent?
Bro, this rapping scene is mad cute and showcases great chemistry between the leads. Yes, I agree. I think
after he stalked her for a couple weeks, yeah, I think it finally paid off for him.
Is he okay? So notice how, first of all, they still haven't said Creed.
Okay.
They still have not called him Creed because for 2 reasons, I think.
Tell me.
Ryan Coogler still doesn't want to coast off of Rocky too much. But second of all, he's done nothing to encourage people to call him Creed because he wants it to be as far from his dad as possible.
Another thing too is that I feel like it's really cheesy when movies use the actual title in the film. Like Face Off. He's like, "This is Face Off," and you're like, "Oh, you had to put the title in the movie."
That's the Family Guy joke.
I think Coogly is aware of that. I don't think he's a great writer-director, but he took on the idea of I probably shouldn't use the title of the film inside the movie. So he's trying to delay it as much as he can.
Okay, so we have Rocky talking with who is the I unfortunately was not.
Creed 1. I'm watching Creed 1. And if you guys enjoy this, maybe we'll do Creed 2. Haven't heard from JCPenney yet, guys. Hey, Matt. Fry?
Okay, so they're debating whether to let Adonis Creed box one of the stars of that gym he was at.
Is that one guy in the blue from earlier?
It's the tatted guy who we got the stats.
Nice tats?
Yeah. Look, we take the match. I got 6 weeks to get in shape. Is that enough time to beat the regional. He's like a regional champ. This guy. And when he says he's going to go 24/7, we believe him because we know he commits to things that he's like said. Like early in the fight when he lost his car, like he knew that when he saw the tough guy coming into the ring, he knew he was going to lose the car, but he still did it anyway.
He didn't really think about it too much.
But it's like,
but it wasn't his car. Like if you worked hard for that car,
yeah.
would you put it on the line?
But that's why he doesn't feel bad about like losing it because it's like money doesn't mean that
That's
much.
pretty selfish. That's pretty selfish. Then.
Bubbly production, getting in shape as a quarter pounder.
It's kind of weird that Rocky drives a white van, a little creepy old white van.
Well, he runs a restaurant, so he needs to make like cargo deliveries.
But it's kind of creepy. I don't know. I mean, the white vans have this bad distinction.
But it's
look at that, like the white van.
But it's working class, right?
No windows,
he's a restaurant. He's a restaurant proprietor. I'm going to be living with my uncle for a while as he points inside the van.
Told you the white van wasn't a good choice.
If Adonis Creed was like 8 years old, that scene would become way creepier. I'm going to live with my uncle for a time. And it's a guy in a fedora hat who's gesturing him into the van. You know that's...
He wears that fedora well.
You didn't tell... Were you going to tell me your uncle's Rocky Balboa? Says the girl from the window.
And he said, I'll call you, not text you. Says a lot about him.
That is a little strange because nobody calls anymore.
Yeah. And it might be offensive to her because she's just losing her hearing. So it could have been a little better. He's like, yeah, I'll text you.
Ooh, Rocky just said women weaken legs. Paulie was my best friend, even though he wasn't so friendly. Well, he's dead now. What happened to him? He passed away. Leave it ambiguous.
I can't understand half the shit that he's saying.
It's a good
I
thing
always
we're
feel like
watching.
he's eating a salami sandwich.
Sean says, what was your guys' opinion on Black Panther's Best Picture nomination?
I didn't care for Black Panther, honestly.
I loved Black Panther. I thought it was fine to be nominated. Had it won, I would have had some questions, but...
Yeah, I didn't care for it. I think it was just like this. There's little elements in the story that are just thrown in there to then lead to something else to then complete the story, but they're completely unnecessary. Or it could have been, written better to actually be earned in a sense.
It got hyped up so much, Black Panther, and it's a good movie, and the soundtrack is amazing. But
they probably use some Apple Loops. Wouldn't be surprised.
You and your Apple Loops. Watch out. Here's the thing. Under the edited version of this that has the footage, whenever there's like a moment of where it just cuts away to just us, have like the underscore be just Apple Loops.
It's gonna be Apple Loops, man.
The women weaken legs line was a callback to Mickey, who said it in Rocky 1, I believe. And I agree with you, Joe, about Black Panther.
Thank you. Do you agree with me with Creed, though? Do you agree with me with Creed?
Creed is a better movie than Black Panther. I stand by that.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
It is.
I don't know.
It is. But Creed doesn't have necessarily the huge world-bending themes that Black Panther did. It's a small little story about a guy who's wrestling with himself.
Yeah,
and I think that's all.
Yeah, Black Panther had a lot of moving parts. And that's why there's I feel like some of the writing was a little slacking.
And did you notice that? Like, the Rocky movies kept scaling up. Like, all the way through Ivan Drago, they just kept getting bigger. Who's the next big thug that needs to be beaten? But then with Creed, it went totally in the opposite direction, went even smaller than the original Rocky. Pretty Ricky Conlon is not Apollo Creed. He's a big guy, but it's not about the opponent in this one. That's like, that you're fighting other than, it's just about Adonis. It's a character story.
It's about being in a detention center and then mommy pulling you out, giving you a nice car.
Beautiful
house. And then you just want to fight. Just want to beat people up. You just want to punch people. To prove what?
To get away from that life. Because he doesn't feel at home there. He's trying to find... He's finding a place he can belong, both within and without and outside of himself.
Panting.
Oh, he's running. Is this?
No! Oh no!
Foreshadowing.
Oh, no.
Foreshadowing. He was running to meet up with Rocky at the white van, and a dirt bike passed by him. But the dirt bike just zoomed right past him.
Oh no!
Foreshadowing of the change that he goes through later. That is brilliant. I didn't even remember that.
Wait, say that again. What?
right now, this whole scene is foreshadowing the change that he goes through later when the dirt bikes, like, kind of rally around him.
Yeah.
That first dirt bike just zoomed right by him.
Oh, yeah.
He's like,
I thought
he
we were
doesn't
about to go
commit.
into that scene.
Oh, no.
I was getting nervous.
No. That's like right before the Conlon fight that we get that. So, Vice, I agree with Ryan. I feel like Creed has more heart at the center of it than Black Panther does. Yes, I mean, I connected with it more. I'm sure that opinion's not universal, but Creed just, because Creed is not saying that you have to be like this guy who was in juvie, you have to be like a guy who was in these exact circumstances. It's just about kind of wrestling with kind of coming from a place where you don't feel like you fit in, and kind of kind of coming into your own by accepting.
Still, I just go back to, I think they could have laid it out a little bit better as to why. I think they could have given a little bit more of a background.
Oh, Ip Man is great. Have you seen Ip Man?
Ip Man, no.
Oh, it's a great fighting martial arts series. Okay, so we've got. Okay, so Rocky is introducing Adonis to the people who are going to prep him for this big regional match.
And they're getting some coffee.
I think the big regional match is the one take.
Oh,
I think that's
one take fight scene.
I think that's what we're building towards.
Oy, oy, oy.
But we got a guy who,
a little montage.
We got a guy who's making him gloves, and a guy who's basically helping him fine tune his fighting style.
We got the bob in the back. I used to have one of those. Punch it and stuff. Love those things. All right, so now he's in training.
And I love this because as they're training, they're like, "Come on, Donnie, back it up." They don't say, "Come on, Creed," like as they might ordinarily. And it draws such a beautiful contrast in the final match when he walks out into the ring and everyone is yelling, "Creed, Creed, Creed." It's so beautiful because again he's starting at this place where he's all alone and doesn't want to be recognized as Creed's son.
It's interesting that you say that. I still think that's interesting because he's still spending all this time saying, "I don't want to be like my dad. I want to be myself, be myself." But then wait towards the end. I feel like it doesn't. He does a little flip flop. Like he doesn't know who he really wants to be.
He doesn't
or what he identifies with.
He doesn't have to be his dad, but he has to accept that his dad is part of him.
But I think that it doesn't. We'll have to wait. We'll have to wait till we get there. Because I feel like there's a line that he says that you're like.
So Rocky's telling him that there's a learning curve because he's trying to. As long as you're talking, you're not listening. Go apologize. You guys are on the same damn team, okay?
Do they kiss?
I don't. Okay, right. It's back with the sparring. And so what Rocky's doing here is he's providing Adonis the guidance that Adonis clearly didn't have before.
The raid? Oh, I love the raid. Very, not crazy amount of story, but I loved the fight scenes. And it was shot on 5Ds and very low budget.
Paul, or is there any chance Ryan was a filmmaker?
Huh? Oh, yeah, no, you speak of film very well. We see it in different ways,
I love this movie so much.
You're breaking down all like the little elements and stuff, which is great.
Well, here's the thing. I wouldn't ordinarily, it's just because I'm trying to point out why you're so wrong that I have to explain these things. Usually you just feel them. Like, you don't have to notice that Adonis Creed, is in need of guidance, and now he's finally getting it from Rocky when he's told to go apologize to somebody. You notice how he never made apologies before.
But still, I think for me, too, it's part of just caring about the character, really wanting to be invested in him and care about it and rooting for him. I remember watching it in the theater and not knowing when the movie actually started because I never really cared for him. I was like, he's a little bit of a dick. He's a stalker.
But yes, that's the whole point, though. He's a dick. Even after he loses his mom's car, he doesn't apologize for it.
And he's a little bit of a dick, so I'm not going to root for a dick.
But then when he's training with Rocky in that scene we just saw with the training, Rocky says, "Hey, you guys are on the same team. Go apologize." And that's he's opening himself up a little bit. And that's why at the end of that montage you see him and Rocky becoming pals because he's becoming more open. These are things that are happening.
I don't know. I just felt like from the beginning to set him off, at a bad start. Pretty weak setup.
Sean says the worst part of this movie was when Creed orders that Philly cheesesteak. That Philly cheese, John.
Was that earlier when he was with the chick?
With the chick, yeah. Sounds like Donnie never had much of a father figure. Yes. Well, he grew up without a dad because Apollo was killed, and then he ended up in juvie. This is random, but one of my life goals is to be a low-level thug in a kung fu movie. Have
You can do it, man. Come on.
Joe, have you ever seen Austin Powers Goldmember?
Oh yeah, of course.
There was a scene where like Austin's father was like beating up henchmen, and he made fun of one guy for being so nameless that he wasn't even wearing a name tag, and how nothing he does in this movie will have any significance, and then punches him out.
Oh, I think I remember that.
Or judo chops.
I don't remember liking that one though. Was that the one we had
At
daddy
Beyonce.
issues?
Well, yeah. I mean, I
Yeah.
assume he has it all.
They always threw like some daddy issue stuff into that.
Yeah, it's the one where Tom Cruise made a cameo or something. Britney
Oh
Spears made a
yeah,
cameo.
he
They
was
had a lot
like
of
an agent
celebrities.
or something. Yeah, that was crazy.
Okay, so where are we now? Oh, it's the night of the fight.
Oh, they're doing a little fight here. Yeah.
A fighter can't be saved by the bell. Oh, interesting artistic choice. The guy was explaining the rules.
I wasn't like watching.
The
Oh,
dude
went quiet.
the dude was explaining the rules to Adonis, and the audio just cut to nothing.
Okay.
And then like
Foreshadowing.
and then the silence gets broken when Adonis says, like, "Hey, loosen my gloves," because Adonis is really scared right now.
But we were focusing on Rocky there, right? Was he kind of zoning out?
Well,
Because he looks a little, they're trying to establish
I think
something.
that's more Sylvester Stallone than Rocky Balboa. Are they worth watching? Yes, the Rocky movies, at least the first two, I would definitely recommend. First three, Clubber Lang is good. But
Creed, I wouldn't. You can skip over Creed.
Silence. Hey, Silence.
Okay, so we're at a fight. Is this?
Oh,
CGI?
yes, I love this scene.
Look at his like breath.
His tattoos are very impressive. And
I just want to be in a stand-in with a guy on the scope. Let's do it.
It's more intimidating when you're in the ring, when you know you're about to. So we know that Adonis was scared as hell before this fight. And now the fight's about to begin, and I'm pretty sure this is the one taker.
We put his
Okay, good.
in.
Here we go. So the bell just rang, and now they're starting the fight. He's starting the fight with the regional champ, the tatted guy. I love this scene. The camera's spinning around them as they go.
See, I remember watching in the theater and just being like, this is kind of boring.
What?
Yeah.
This is
Like, this is a little boring.
But this is so beautiful.
Who's that?
Joe,
See, it's so choreographed, though.
Joe, contrast.
Look at that. He's just moving. He's dodging.
No, but this is
punches
so
that aren't
weird.
even there.
Contrast this to the barroom brawl.
That was a cut.
No, it wasn't.
Wait, what were you saying?
Contrast this to the barroom brawl at the start of the film when we, as the audience, were outside of the ring looking in. Now we're inside the ring with him, and there are zero cuts in this fight.
And I feel like it's a little bit weaker. It's not as exciting.
No, we're in the ring with him because this is so much more real to him. This is the professional world. It's not a.
I'm not feeling it.
And the audience is cheering for his opponent. But it's because of the way this is being shot, the audience kind of is fading away for us too. It's like for Adonis, he's not seeing them, and we aren't either. Like their faces are blurry and they're kind of moving around and as colorless blobs, but we hear just the general kind of murmuring.
You really love this movie.
I love this.
Look
This
at hugging.
scene-
Look at that.
This scene is one of those things that I don't forget. Like I've only seen Creed once before, but this scene I remembered because I loved it so much. Have you ever seen Raging Bull?
Yeah, a while ago.
Yeah, it's like a modern take on that, with the Sugar Ray Robinson fight. The first round just ended, and we're still no cuts. We're still there.
I think Jess and I were about to walk out the theater after we were like sitting through this part. We were like, no, this is boring.
No. Pancake Day.
Pancake Day, hell
It's
yeah.
Pancake Day.
All right.
This is basically what it's like being a film student watching a
With your
movie
dad.
with your dad.
It's true. He's scary looking, man. I wouldn't
Yeah,
wanna
and
be
then you got this crowd going, "Leo,
in an elevator with him.
You wouldn't make fun of him for doing this at the start of the fight?
Do you think that's real sweat?
They might have
They
sprayed him
added
down
in.
a tiny bit, but I know this was a hard scene to film.
See, he didn't get hit there.
It's so great because the shot size changes depending on the beats of the fight. It's like we go in on the right people when we need to.
So they can make that fake cut. Come on!
And also in the background,
Come on!
the music's been changing too. Oh,
that,
we got him!
That looked pretty good. The sound effects are pretty good for that.
We got him, Rock. Yes!
Okay, he won.
Yes! But did you notice also the music in the background was changing too as the
Yeah,
fight
it got
went on?
more and more intense.
It's like mimicking his pulse.
Well, see, I remember at this point I just wasn't excited.
Oh, wait, see? Did y'all see the video of Michael B. Jordan on set take a real punch from the other fighter and pass out?
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's not afraid to get hit.
Okay. So on a vote scale, who's for Creed 1 and who's not? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Just want to see what room.
Wait a minute, I just realized something.
Did you make some? Oh shit. Still?
Yeah, should be. Okay, now there's a record of Joe Nation
Oh,
saying,
God.
I love Creed.
No. I got to delete that.
Somebody screen cap that real quick. Screen cap that.
No, it didn't go away.
Screen cap.
No.
No,
away.
don't worry about it. It's fine.
All right. So now, what happened to the mama? Where's the mama?
She's not in. Well, he's trying to like separate himself from that world, so she's not as much a part of this section of the story.
I don't think it was her fault.
And now he's coming down after that first fight, and he's with he's with the girl. Hello,
Give it a
all.
lot
Hope
of
you're
thumbs
doing well. Oh, that's many thumbs up for Creed.
30-day reviews. Many thumbs up from one person. Oh,
wait,
what is
yeah.
this? Is this in the middle?
Yeah, someone's like, someone's iffy. I really did like the long fight scene. Yes, that's one of the best scenes in the movie.
I don't know. I understand, your film critique behind it, but I don't know. I was just.
And this is a beautiful little scene. They haven't said a word this entire
But
scene.
did she consent? Still rolling. This stop rolling.
I think it stopped.
Oh no!
Well, now it's rolling again.
Is there a time limit on it?
I don't know, maybe.
Uh,
But I'll just periodically check it.
It's all right. If not, we'll just have to do another movie. Oh man!
Whoa, that escalated
Whoa,
quickly.
this is getting a little.
I was up
getting a
for
little
like
hot and heavy,
I was up for like 2 seconds.
and it turned into a full-on porno.
I mean, you can always just use this. We can download the live stream and use this footage anyway.
True.
It's just a reaction cam. So
why do you think
Adonis-
they cut to the turtle? Oh, there can be multiple reasons for that.
Wait, explain. Explain this.
I don't know. You ever see a turtle's head inside of its shell and then it pops up? Come on, dude. Come on, man. What was that?
No, I'm sure that wasn't it. Was that it?
Well, I mean,
Was
with your
that-
knowledge in film, why do you feel that they decided to cut
Okay,
to...
like charitably speaking, if we're doing like if we're doing the interpretation that's safe for work, he's coming out of his shell.
Okay.
But I didn't get that from that. It was a little.
Nah, I felt like it was a boner reference. That was definitely a boner reference.
Okay, if you have like, there's like 100% of the songs in this movie that I thought sounded better in the movie than when I actually listened to that song. Yeah. Oh, Bianca's mad that Adonis didn't tell her that his dad was Apollo. Oh, that's another piece of dialogue I couldn't say. I do care about you keeping it 100 with me.
Wait, she's mad about what?
That he didn't tell her that his dad was Apollo Creed, aka the most famous fighter ever.
Why would that matter?
She said it doesn't matter to her, but what does matter is that he didn't keep it 100 with her.
But why would he? Well, see, I feel like it's. See, this is when, to me, that shouldn't be a big deal to her. But this is when Kugley, I feel like he's like, there has to be some type of drama between the two to break them apart. So then he started to care about him more and the relationship more, and he want them back together. And I feel like it was just a weak choice. It's like, Ryan, I can't be friends with you because you didn't tell me who your dad was. Have I ever asked you about your dad?
What? My dad is Donald Trump.
Even there you go, even better.
But hey, I keep it 100 with you though.
Yeah,
like that's the thing. I didn't tell you that, but I keep it 100.
But he was keeping 100 with me, or with her. You didn't keep it 100 with me, and you didn't feel the need to tell me who your dad was, even if he was a famous person.
But that's the thing. It's like people treat me differently when they know, like he said.
Then it makes you think that she's a gold digger. So maybe she wanted a life where he has the nice Mustang, and he wanted she wants that mansion.
Well, oh, we got a PTI. Is this an actual thing?
This is what I don't like either, is when they involve like actual news anchors and stuff like that into it. Because like, don't they have better things to do? Like, especially when news anchors do it. You should be reporting the news, not getting a paycheck for something. Hey, come here, doggy. Nina, come here.
Oh no! Here, one sec.
We're watching Creed 1. Oh wait, what's going on here? Oh, this is important, Ryan.
Oh wait.
Damage to Apollo Creed's legacy. He's talking about his son. No, I haven't seen Fruitvale Station. Where's your mic?
Where's the lav mic? The lav mic is right there.
Right here. We're just using the laptop audio right now.
Oh. So they were. By the way, since I was with the dog, I missed that. What was harming Creed's legacy? Are they just discussing the possibility that if he's less successful than his dad,
it could taint his father's legacy?
Do you think? But that might be an element of why he's so reluctant to do that. It's because people expect him to be perfect. Oh, it's Pretty Ricky.
See, I feel like this acting too here was a little off.
Pretty Ricky or this guy?
Both of them.
He's telling him that Pretty Ricky has a temper, like a bad temper, and that he got in trouble for like brandishing a gun in public.
Was he?
This is good.
A tabloid. He just wants the money. He just wants the money.
Well, the older guy does, but Pretty Ricky's line was significant. He just said, "It's like I don't want to be remembered for this," and the old guy's like, "I don't care how you remember." But that actually ties into the whole idea of legacy and whatnot. The whole idea of what kind of makes us of who we are to other people. Oop. Pretty Ricky's contact or manager is speaking with Rocky now about, are we setting up the possibility of a fight? He's asking for a business meeting.
Do you think it's that easy to jump up in the ranks in boxing? Be able to box someone?
Well, I think
that's Pretty Ricky.
I think that you don't normally skip that many levels and go straight to Pretty Ricky. I think it's because Creed is Apollo's son that he gets to kind of take a shortcut and just fight the big baddie before defeating everyone else.
See, but then that's kind of contradictory of him not wanting to be looked at in his father's footsteps. So why would he want the easy path in a sense?
Well, I think that's what he's asking. He's like, you want me to find Conlon? And Conlon's manager is saying, I think it'd be a wise move. You've been down in I've got you as a 15-0. Yeah, because on the local circuit, Adonis is doing pretty well right now. But how is he going to react to the prospect of fighting Conlon? He's conflicted. Asks Rocky if he's ready. This man, Rocky warns Adonis that Ricky Conlon's manager is only there because he knows that Conlon would win.
Vice Marshall just found out that Kugley
did not direct Creed 2.
I think something happened. something happened. I think he would have been signed on, but I think something happened internally, and they're like, we don't want Kublai directing part 2.
I'm actually disappointed because I was planning on hosting a big watch party for Creed 2.
Really?
At which you would finally admit that you actually love the Creed series. But if Kublai didn't direct it, then
I'm down to watch Creed 2 and see how, if I like it or not. Especially like it better than Creed 1.
King of the Hill says, "Hey, I remember this second guy." I seriously hope you're referring to Conlon's manager and not me right there, King of the Hill.
Or me. Translated that.
Like Tom Hardy
yeah.
and Warrior. Yeah, actually, that's another movie right there. But hey, he has to keep it 100 with them. He's got to keep it 100.
Keep it 100, y'all.
Actually, things like this are 100% a problem in boxing and mixed martial arts fights too.
Does she consent to him doing her hair? Did we talk about this? Did he? We don't see all these
from the guy who once made fucking snowflake a catchphrase. I'm not sure we can continue on this joke thread. To be fair, yes, money fights.
Thunder.
Money fights do kind of create problems. Vice Marshal Barnacle, that's a good name. But we're still gonna want to see KSI and Logan Paul.
This is important. This whole scene is important.
Oh, yes.
This establishes what his real purpose is.
So the girl Bianca is talking with Adonis Creed about whether he wants to fight Conlon. She's telling him that he should embrace his father's legacy because it's his, and because he wants to fight Ricky Conlon. And then they kiss. Once.
That was kind of awkward.
So, but again, that scene is meant to show that, again, he's coming around to the idea of fighting Conlon as a Creed. Because that would be his first fight as a Creed. The rest of his fights have been as Donnie.
But see, someone made a good point in the chat here, is that why not do the fight without going public as to who you are until after the fact? Because I think that would be far more interesting than that conversation that happened right now, because then it's establishing that, oh yeah, he's having that transitional change. But the whole story is the whole setup is of him going against his dad and not being affiliated with him. So I don't see the benefit in him now wanting to take on his father's name. I don't see how that complements his character.
I mean, I think it's because in order to fight Conlon, who he genuinely does want to fight, he has to learn to accept the fact that he's a Creed. And so I think he's going to start off conflicted, like he's doing it only as a means to an end. But by the final fight, he kind of grows into accepting what that signifies.
But I just remember at the end, he's like overly accepting of it. Okay, I have this movie. You were against being, affiliated with your dad.
But people change.
I think he changed a little too quick.
Luke Skywalker started off not wanting to go anywhere, and then his aunt and uncle got killed, and he was like, I better go somewhere.
Things changed a little too quick. Like I still say from the beginning, I like to see what happened in those 20 years that he was living in that mansion. What did he go through?
Oh, The Fighter. Yeah, I got to check that out sometime.
Maybe do a commentary of Bob Thunder. I've always wanted to do that.
He could call himself Adonis. What is that?
I think it's more the fact that he wants to be his own name and not live in his father's shadow. Exactly. That's the point that I'm making, is that this whole movie, he's trying to do that. But by the end, he's like, oh, yeah, I did it for my dad. I did always for my dad. I love my dad. And you're like, no, you spent the whole movie not trying to be affiliated with your dad.
But here's the thing, the scene that we just saw, he just yelled out, finally, I'm fighting pretty Ricky Conlon, or I'm fighting Ricky Conlon. And it's like, to him, that's what this is. It's not like I'm like.
It's a little bit of an ego thing, then.
Well, to him, it's just his another step on the road to kind of proving himself as an individual. He's still not thinking about his dad or thinking about what this means to be his father's son.
But he goes in there, and everybody knows who he is already, right? I think it'd be far more interesting if he went in there and people didn't know.
Yeah, but it's kind of hard to keep that. Oh, this is the Rocky Cancer section.
Okay, this is where it gets interesting.
Well, what are your thoughts on the Rocky having cancer?
Well, let's wait for the scene to happen.
Okay, this is the first time Rocky's.
Okay, look at his condition right now. He just fell over.
Rocky fell.
We don't know why.
And he coughed up bile.
Spit up. Maybe he was hungover. He was throwing up. You had too much tequila last night.
Does it escalate that quickly? Like one day you're fine, and the next day you're falling over and puking.
I don't know, but then all of a sudden he's fine. Okay, so we're in the hospital right now, and here's the doctor. Spill the news.
I'll be 100% honest. The first time I saw this movie, I thought they were going to kill off Rocky. Like
That's where I was hoping it would go.
really? Why?
Oh yeah, I'll explain later. Okay, so in every movie, what is it called? What is the Dark Knight? What is the beats? Let me figure it out.
We are watching the movie right now. Some version will probably be released later that has the footage somewhere and us in a reaction window. But this is kind of fun, just kind of saying whatever.
Creed. Yeah, we're watching Creed.
Creed 1, not 2. Creed 1.
I'm trying to find this. There it is.
Oh, Collard Greens. Collard Greens make an appearance. Well, towards the end, it's more of the fact that he's accepted his father's legacy that was left behind while still being able to be his own fighter. Yeah, I think that's a good opinion.
What happened?
Like, towards the end, it's more of the fact that he's accepted his father's legacy that was left behind while still being able to be, like, he's still earned his place.
But I think
he's just realized that it's within he's accepted that it's within the context.
From what I recall, how it's presented and written in, I feel like I didn't feel that way. I feel like he was just like, oh yeah, I did it all for my dad. I love my dad, yeah. But how did he come to that conclusion after he spent so much time resenting his father?
But
I can understand people change, but the amount of change that he made, I feel like it wasn't deserved.
But I think that's like all these tiny little moments in the film that are full of like these visual storytelling things. They're just meant to kind of, without you even realizing what's happening, make you realize where people are coming from so that you have that emotional payoff. I don't know though. You were thinking about a lot of these things a lot though. So versus just feeling them. Like like you were probably asking yourself, oh wait a minute, so why does he have cancer now? Like what is the
here's
instead
the thing.
of just understanding that the point of Rocky having cancer is not why does he have cancer? It's what does Adonis feel now that his father figure has cancer and might leave?
So why do you think they've written in that he had cancer?
I think it's because they wanted to show that they wanted to create this emotional obstacle for Adonis by having him confront what would happen if this new father figure were taken away.
Okay. For me, and we're establishing now that he has cancer, right?
Yes.
Okay. In every movie, there always comes to the point where it's in the almost at the third act, towards the end of the second act, it's sick, or you lose somebody. So that's where we're at now. It's like the bad guys close in. If you look up the beat sheet by Tim,
did you literally look up the beat sheet?
Yeah, by Blake Snyder. Because what I'm trying to prove,
it's called Dark Knight of the Soul.
Dark Knight, is that the Dark Knight of the Soul?
It's called Dark Knight of the Soul. The hero's lowest points that he reaches at the end of the second act that he has to figure out how to get back from.
But we haven't hit that point yet.
No, this is bad guys close in with Rocky having cancer. Dark Knight of the Soul is when he's convinced that he's going to lose his lover, lose his father, and lose the fight. And
we're not at that point yet where I want to make all the points. But I feel like Coogly just because he's a writer-director in this film, right? He did a little bit of everything. So I feel like he incorporated the idea of Rocky getting cancer to establish these beats and to establish the change in the emotions that you feel and the story. But the issue is that there's no payoff to it. It was so basic. It goes away. It just goes away.
That's why I was pretty convinced they were going to kill Rocky off.
I was hoping that they kill Rocky off, but the whole idea is like, I think there's a line. He literally says, "It's gone." I'm like, what? So it makes me think,
no, that's not a line.
He's like, I'm all right.
That's not a line.
So to me, it's like, what Coogly did was establish the beat in the moment, but there was no payoff to it. It served no purpose.
Vice Marshal Barnacle, you've seen this movie a lot. Is there literally a line where Rocky just says, "Oh, cancer's gone"? Because if so, that's pretty bad. Like that one, I would have to side with Joe on, but I don't remember that, so I'm going to go ahead and doubt that claim for now.
But it was just so combed over. It was like he had cancer to establish this turn these emotions that Adonis has to go through, and that all is lost. But then everything's fine.
Amy S. Hi, Amy
It was
S.
just kind of like an amateur move. That's why you thought that he was going to die. I thought he was going to die too, because then it established that, wow, Adonis really loses everything. But he didn't. He just had, his Rocky gets sick for a little bit. Now he's looking at what? What is he looking at? Oh, so now he's discovering.
That
He's
he's discovering on his own that Rocky had cancer. And here's the thing: there's another little parallel.
He's a miracle. It's a miracle.
He still has cancer at this point in the story, and Adonis is about to feel very betrayed because Rocky didn't keep it 100 with him.
Yeah, and go back to the 100.
Doesn't matter. Rocky tells him that the cancer doesn't matter because
This is where I feel like it's over dramatic acting.
Let me think. Rocky tells Adonis that he's not doing chemotherapy, but Adonis.
I actually don't even remember, but for some reason that sounds right. I think it's about this. Yeah, right.
No,
see, I think I'm right.
No.
I think Vice Marshal is agreeing with me.
That's terrible.
There's these little.
There can't be.
So look, you're doing a great job breaking this movie down, and I appreciate that because I'm now hearing things and noticing things I didn't notice before. But that's from an artistic point and a filmmaking point. But from an overall story of what is actually being told, I feel like the writing and directing was a little bit slacking. They didn't. Kugley didn't always do a good job in taking something and establishing the storyline and then actually expanding on it and making it impact the whole film. He just made those little beats to insert it so it can get him to the next scene, the next step, and then he completely glossed over it.
So like he wanted the element of Adonis like dealing with Rocky's cancer diagnosis, but didn't know where to take it. He pulled the J.J. Abrams with Wasp.
Yeah, it's almost as if he picked up the most basic screenwriting book, read it, wrote a script with all the beats exactly to it, but without actually using each of those elements to then bring you to the full scope of the film. That they benefit the film from the start to the beginning, to the end. I don't know what the hell I'm saying.
But wait, the Fist of Love has a theory. The cancer was not for Creed. It was Rocky to show he was still a fighter. But he did just refuse Creed. Wait, he did just refuse chemo though. But Adonis may be the one who convinces him to do it.
But I think what my biggest issue with it is that there's no payoff to it.
I like this scene though. This scene in the locker room because it's just them. It's them in a very small space.
Yeah, what was established here? That he's just mad at him?
By the way, quick note about this locker room scene where he confronts, where Adonis confronts Rocky about the cancer. Did you notice the color scheme?
Red, white, and red.
Apollo Creed's colors.
Red, white, and blue.
Yes, it's Apollo's shorts.
Red, white, and blue.
They are literally like it's Apollo's colors are all around them while they're discussing the idea of a father figure dying. It's such a good like little thing.
I like that.
Oh, Vice Marshal. Okay, no, that doesn't happen.
The payoff will be Creed. What was that for?
We'll be in Creed 4. I hope there's 4 Creeds. The movie ends with Rocky and Adonis climbing 72 steps together to signify that he and Rocky are fighting the sickness together. Okay, I mean that's better than just saying, "Oh, bro, cancer's gone."
No, but I'm pretty sure he says that. There has to be a line. I think there's a line. It's like, "What happened to the cancer?" It's like, "Oh, it's cool, dude."
Wait, did you just say stop being light-skinned? Oh, what? There was a guy who has like a tear tattoo. Tear tattoos on your cheek mean you killed someone in prison, right?
I believe so.
A guy with tear tattoos just said stop being light-skinned. And called him. That's the first time anyone's called him Creed.
Okay.
Oh, and he slugs him.
See, cheap shots, guys.
I like that though because that's
we're
consistent.
watching Creed 1.
Yes, and tear tattoos have multiple meanings.
Wait, who's seen Creed 2? Is there any mention of the cancer? That's another thing. There's no mention of cancer in Creed 2.
That's a good point. I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know.
I heard there isn't. All right, so he got mad because
he punched out that dude with tear tattoos, and now he's in jail. So he still has a little bit of his old flaws. Like
he was called Baby Creed, and he got offended. But he was actually referred to as Creed in that news report.
Oh yeah, that is. But
still, we're doing another flip flop where now he had the scene with the girlfriend, and she was like, "Just accept it." And it looked like he was about to accept it, but then he got called Baby Creed. I know it's Baby Creed. It's a little bit more of a slap in the face, but he's still not willing to accept it.
Yeah, and it is in an insulting way here. Like they called him Baby Creed to like make fun of him. And I think there's a point in the movie coming up where they say they call him a false creed, which considering the literal meaning of creed is kind of funny. But yeah, for him, any mention I think is he's not comfortable with because he accepted it more as a means to an end rather than like out of a desire to be his dad.
I mean, how could he have avoided being known as Creed?
He doesn't.
Could he have put in the effort to be avoided to avoid it, or?
It's like denying it's like denying your skin color. It's like denying who you are. You can't.
But I mean, in terms of him going public and him wanting to fight, as someone mentioned in the chat earlier, could he have prevented his name actually coming out? Like, what precautions did he take to say, "All right, I'm not going to be identified as Creed"? We never mentioned his name at all. It's called Adonis.
Yeah, I don't know though.
He could have been like, "I want to go by,"
but here's
Mr. Bigglesworth.
But if you're seen with hanging out with Rocky Balboa, people like, especially on the internet, are going to figure things out about you.
Yeah, this time of Snapchat was really hot. Now he's pissed off. He's crying
because Rocky just called him out for punching the guy and for acting up.
And remember, we saw Rocky fall and throw up all in that one day, and now he's walking around pretty fine.
But that scene was interesting because Creed was back where he was at the start of the film, which was in a detention facility alone. But this time, unlike the beginning part of the movie, it was Rocky, his father figure, who came in to rescue him.
But now we see what got him there. What about those other times?
Well, the same thing put him in when he was a kid and when he was an adult. He has no guidance, and he has and he's rash. He has a temper. So he needs someone to like kind of right him when he's wrong. But he didn't have Rocky as a kid, and now he feels like Rocky's dying. So he's kind of just lashing out again. I think on the back of that locker room scene where they discuss cancer, that's kind of what this in the very next scene, he's acting like his old self because he's scared he's going to lose his dad. Oh, yeah. So that guy, the teardrop guy, was the headliner for her show.
Oh. Kill what?
The show. He punched out the headliner for the show, but she gave a good show.
Oh yeah, right. Rocky's kid. They did a whole movie on him, right? His actual son too.
His mom was Claire Huxtable.
I think it was the idea of him not going by Creed. He was fighting a fight he couldn't win.
Oh, and now he's explaining to Bianca that the reason he found out right before his show that Rocky has cancer, and he's kind of, I think he's realizing that he one of the reasons he lost his temper so fast was because he was, still reeling from that. And that's
even that. I'm glad that you said that because even to me, I understand that, but I don't know. It just feels like a Kugly. Hey, this is a good way to motivate this scene after the fact.
But it's funny because I don't usually think of it in the way I've been kind of just talking about it. It's just like you feel like when he punched out that dude, like in the theater, I didn't think it through. I just thought like, I know why he's doing this because I know what state of mind he's in. Mm-hmm. And because Ryan Coogler did a really good job of making me understand that. Like, because the scene before we experience it with him. Like even down to the colors, like I said, like it's his perspective we're seeing this from.
But I think it kind of gets muddied in the fact that he was called by Baby Creed, because then the whole movie he's trying to be, not identify with his dad, and then someone calls him that. So then you're like, does it spark because of his anger, because of the cancer, or because of his own ego?
I need to rewatch Creed because based on your commentary, it just sounds like they mixed all the Rocky movies in one movie. Well, I think they were trying to pay tribute to everything a little bit.
Yeah.
This isn't. Is it? No, it's too early. No, this is not the dirt bike scene.
Oh, we're still haven't gotten to that.
Wait, there's
It
a
is.
bike. There's foreshadowing.
Oh gosh. Wait,
Guy on the bike says, I heard you're Apollo Creed's son. Donnie just says, yeah. And then the guy on the bike just says, that's what's up. Which is basically just...
I think they cut it right there
Nice.
because the guy fell off the bike.
He popped a wheelie on his way out.
See, there was a smile. Okay, it's not, but what was the conversation that he just had with the girl? Did it have to do with the name again? Or was it just...
Well, he was explaining to her that Rocky, he found out had cancer, and that was one of the reasons he punched her headliner. And then she was trying to say, like, maybe you can convince him to accept treatment. Because Rocky had told him he's not going to do chemo.
See, because to me, then, we could have...
And right now, like, Rocky and Creed are about to have a discussion about that, I think.
We could have jumped over the whole baby Creed thing. That could have happened before all of this. I feel like that wasn't even needed. Or it would happen before her then introducing to him that he should go by the name, and accept the name. Because then that would have been
That's a little
more
too easy, though, right? Because, like, he's not going to accept it right away, even if he did it just because he wanted to fight Conlon.
But to me, it's just like there's so much back and forth, It's like he doesn't. There's no clear bridge or clear pathway to it. Just feels like he's so fucking confused.
No, you can like a Creed as much as you want. Creed is an excellent movie, Vice Marshal.
Who said that?
Well, this live stream makes me realize I might like this movie too much. No, Creed is a great movie.
Oh, really?
It is-
Wait. Does that mean that I'm convincing you a little bit?
Creed is a solid movie. It's a solid piece of filmmaking.
I might like this movie too much. Vice, am I convincing you a little bit that you might be questioning how much you like this movie?
No.
Is that what that means?
Oh, fist bump from Rocky. That's technically a microaggression, but it's a fist bump from Rocky, which has fighters.
What were they talking about? What was that saying about?
I think it was in the script. It's the moment where he has to convince Rocky to take chemo and be a fighter.
Oh, okay.
So now he's visiting Rocky in the. Is it a hospital or a doctor's office? Maybe just a doctor's office. Let me check the main camera real quick.
Yeah.
Still recording, so I don't know. Hopefully it's.
I can just always cut to this one, maybe.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Okay, so now he's. Oh, I love this scene too. He was Adonis Creed just met up with.
I like this comment. It's okay not to like it, Joe. You're not alone.
No.
It might be both of that. I'm still waiting for Vice Marshal's answer.
I like that scene though because he went to visit Rocky in a hospital room where Rocky is considering starting a treatment, and then he started shadowboxing in Rocky's room. Again, they didn't draw the connection that it's like he's externalizing what Rocky's feeling right now, like the desire to fight back.
Okay.
But it's just a great little detail.
What was that? Now he's all sweaty. All right, let me see. I think there's a good movie because.
Oh, this is a nice little montage. This is not a conventional sports. Right now we're getting a montage of Adonis kind of his day-to-day life as he helps Rocky fight cancer.
I like that comment. Creed lacks enough development for Adonis.
Take away the Rocky parts in the film. But that's the thing. I think the whole point is that Adonis needs to accept his connection to the old Rocky movies because Apollo Creed is such a big character. He's such a big, larger-than-life presence. I agree with Sean here. If a movie has people talking and digging deeper, that makes it a good movie, in my opinion. I think that's right. I think if it's a movie that inspires debate, that's a good thing.
For me, my response to that is that this, too, I felt was a movie that was way overhyped. And when I went to go see it, I was completely disappointed. It was just like Black Panther.
It wasn't hyped in the way Black Panther was. Black Panther was being hailed as like the new Dark Knight,
I feel like
the greatest superhero movie ever.
2015 was a lot different from 2018 as well.
And
in a short amount of years. But this was, I feel like it was way overhyped.
It's kind of like saying if you take away the Rocky movies from Creed's kind of like backstory and like just how it stands, so that's like taking all of the music out of Black Panther. It's like you need that like foundation. It's like no shame in that.
my eyes again. Like, all right, let's see. This wouldn't be anything without boxing.
I still love this movie though. Just the fact that I know more about these characters than probably my own family is hard. That's a sign that Ryan Coogler has done his job. Also, you need to watch Black Panther. I mean, yeah.
That could be another one. I have some words about Black Panther as well.
Oh my God, it's it.
All right, so
This is the dirt bike scene. Okay.
This is when Jess and I almost walked out.
No, this is the
Almost
second
walked
best scene. Okay, it's in the top 3. The Conlon fight, the one-take fight with the regional champ guy, and this scene are the 3 that I remember most. This is such a good scene.
All these kids will be in jail right now. This is illegal. This is highly illegal.
This is.
Is there a subway tag on his bike?
But this is such a good scene. This is such a good scene.
But how often? When would this happen?
And
When
slow-mo.
would this happen?
Beautiful use of slow-mo.
When would this happen though? This would never.
This is what I'm talking about. You just gotta
this
feel.
is such a realistic movie, and I'm like, this would never happen to somebody.
No, this is
all those kids are making a street violation, traffic violation.
No.
They'll all get penalized. These are probably $500 tickets with probably even 15 days community service.
This scene is inspiring as hell. Just feel the scene.
But who are these guys? I feel like I think the music's even cheesy.
Oh no!
Just can't get over it. Jess and I were livid in the theater. We're like,
No!
This is so dumb.
Why?
And then and then there's Rocky. There's Rocky.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they don't even have to.
Oh, God.
They don't even have to. Like, they muted his dialogue. They just played the music. You don't get to hear what he's saying to Rocky, but you don't need to. You know what this moment means to Adonis.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, movies are not realistic representations of real life, and that's someone who doesn't like the movie.
No, but I remember people who love this movie and even said that scene was so realistic to them.
Joe, stop being a dad.
I'm like, that's not realistic. I don't know the last time that I walked outside and I was running on all these bikes and four-wheelers in Philly. Are there four-wheelers in Philly? Do people have four-wheelers
I'm
in
sure
Philly?
some people have four-wheelers in Philly, but that's not the point. The point is that this is the moment when Creed feels like he's not alone anymore. And, people are rallying around him for the first time in his life. He's feeling like he's having some success in fighting back against everything.
This is where I go back to the beginning, where it didn't really establish his characters, because maybe people were willing to stand by him. The mother was, and you don't know what that background happened. So maybe he was the one that just had the big ego or the issues that he needed therapy, and he was rejecting people the whole time. And so now maybe he's changed to welcome people in. Maybe they were always there. Well, the mom was there. The mom probably introduced her to her friends, and they probably had kids.
But the movie is about him facing off against himself, and he's won a major victory on that front because he calls out to the bikers to rally to ride.
He calls them out.
Yeah, he says,
so that's a big ego thing. He has a massive ego.
No, because the guy at the start of the film would never do that. He doesn't want anyone near him. He wants to be alone. He wants you to get out of his face.
But he's always still had a big ego.
I mean, he still has an ego. This press conference scene, it's the press conference with Pretty Ricky right now. This is another great scene.
Internal struggle with his ego, and then he needed the bike scene to kind of be like, hey, my ego's out.
Yes. Conlon just dissed Creed by calling him, by pointing out that he grew up, Conlon grew up on the docks while Creed, he says, grew up with a silver spoon in his mouth, and Creed got offended by that and started some pre-match brawling.
I think he might have had some tough times at the beginning when he was 8. But after that, man, from 8 to he's probably 30-something in here.
They pulled the Citizen Kane trick where this press conference is taking place in the shadow of these giant posters that have the fighters' images on them. So Adonis is sitting in front of a poster that says Adonis Hollywood Creed while being called out for being phony. It's such a great image because that poster is his insecurity about this image that's being created of him and what the reality of his situation is. It's so.
That's a good note. Okay, let's see what's next. Wait, what did I say? Joseph. Someone wrote Joe's a snitch or something. I deleted.
Oh.
You deleted it.
Nah, sorry,
know,
Ryan. This seat, the motorcycle seat isn't that cool. And
Message
someone
reach-
else said I stand with Ryan. Vice Marshal deleted a message, so I can't.
No, I think it's.
Thank you, EAME, Eam. Thank you, Eam.
Let me comment. The first Rocky I know Rocky is. I don't say it. Adonis.
And
I don't
yeah,
know.
presumably,
Yeah.
the dude about to,
Aris, I agree with that.
presumably the dude about to fight the heavyweight champion would have a security
I
detail.
like it, but a bit. I just see flaws and understand where Joe's coming from. Thanks. Thank you.
That's a very diplomatic opinion.
Yeah, no. What I'm saying is that I appreciate all your notes, but there are these little flaws in it that could have easily been, in a writer session one day, been like, hey, you know what? Let's adjust this a little bit. Let's do this instead, or let's stretch out this little scene. Let's add this little line of dialogue. But that's where it's a Kugli problem.
I think Vice Marshal typed an edited version of the message he redacted.
Wait, which one?
We just learned Joe's a snitch that calls cops on his neighbors.
I do all the time. Well, not my neighbors, but there's where I live, it gets loud, and I do call the police all the time.
Oh wait, okay. So it's before the fight, and Adonis Creed has just found a present waiting for him. He asks the girl if it's her that's responsible, but she's not.
Maybe
Who's it from?
Maybe it's a big brand sponsor.
I know who it's from.
I'm impressed that we've kept an average of like 25 people in here.
Build Your Own Legacy, signed Ma. And this got me like tearing up in the theater when he opens this box. I love this moment.
It's his dad's underwear.
It's his dad's shorts, his boxing shorts, that say the word Creed on them. It's basically handing off the... I damn near cried at this scene. Because it's so understated. It's so beautiful.
I don't know. To me, it's still what he's been trying to avoid this whole time. I feel like it goes against.
He has complicated feelings about this as he's looking down at the shorts, but he takes them because he feels like he's about to cry too.
What if they were like too short, too small, or they're like really short shorts? What is not realistic is seeing that this dude who was about to fight the heavyweight champion is walking down without some formal security.
That's another person who questions the why.
Oh, Venom! I haven't seen Venom, Sean, but I thought the trailer looked so stupid.
So Rocky's pumping Creed up before his big fight with Pretty Ricky. Notice how everyone is wearing a jersey that says Creed on it? Like, remember the fight at the beginning of the movie? Creed was preparing alone in a tight room, like just kind of throwing punches himself, and then we're just there with him, just watching him. You made fun of that scene, the apple.
Wait, what?
Remember in the beginning of the movie, like before his barroom brawl fight, he was just like alone in the movie doing this, and you were like, "Oh, this is the apple loop scene." Contrast with this, where now he has a bunch of people with Team Creed on their backs, and Rocky like giving him a heads up about what he's about to face. This is like it's a way of showing the transformation that doesn't require him to say, "Yeah, man, I feel so different now than I used to."
But again, it's all kind of just been handed to him. I feel. I mean, how was this earned? Are they there because they believe in him as a fighter? Or are they there because he's freaking Creed's son?
Well, they're the crew that Rocky introduced him to, like as he was training to beat the first dude. Like they've presumably been with him as he fought all his local matches.
But are they there because he's, he brings in the money because he's his son? Or
would they work for free? That's another question. But I think just emotionally, like this is another thing. Like on the back of the scene where he tells people to like ride with me, and now he literally has a team with him. It's like they all connect to each other and make you feel like why he's changing. Like now he's willing to accept a team and he's willing to walk out with them. In contrast to
but and remember, his mother accepted him, brought him in, and he rejected her. That's what my argument is that they were always there, but he just had such a massive ego.
And he's walking down a brightly lit hallway in contrast to the really dark hallway that he walked down at his barroom brawl. There's so much going on here. That I just
think that's just how the lighting usually is in places like this. All right.
Are they the shorts Apollo was wearing when he died? I don't know. I mean, I guess I didn't question it too much. I just whether they're his original shorts or not, it's just the point is that they're like, they're a symbol of his father. So I think that's more of what I took out of that. This whole movie is built on daddy issues of the main character.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so is Star Wars.
Yeah, he has a lot of daddy issues.
In fact, a lot of the great classic Hollywood movies are built on daddy issues. By the way, did you notice that the room he was preparing in was red, white, and blue?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know it's America colors, but for him they're more.
And what about the cancer? What happened to the cancer?
Well, at least Rocky hasn't said, "Oh, it's gone, bro."
Rocky should have already been dead at this point.
I am looking for how that plot thread ends because I actually forgot. But Rocky's here for this moment, and that's important.
See, it would have been cool if Rocky couldn't make it.
Yes,
he was
alone again. But I thought that's what was going to happen, but it didn't.
I can't make it out, man.
So the crowd's cheering Conlon, which is nothing new for Adonis, because in every fight we've joined him for, the crowd was cheering for his opponent. But by the end of this fight, for the first time ever, the crowd will be cheering his name.
Like Joe was saying, what is this? Yeah. Okay, so what Sean says is I think Ryan and Joe are both correct. There's a lot of cool symbolism, even hitting on that, foreshadowing, and artistic messages, like Ryan is saying. But they probably put a lot of thought into that, which could have put more time into the story. Yeah. That's what makes Kubley a very average director.
Look at this intro. Look at how badass this is. It's Conlon is walking out, and he's like just silhouetted. He's got the fog, the blue light. He's got the people holding the belt, the champion belt behind him. And then he's got the stats.
But can Adonis see him from this angle? Probably not.
Well, every time we have stats, the guy's looking right into the camera. That's Adonis's POV. See?
Okay.
Look, reverse shot. That's
Okay.
Adonis's POV.
I think they could have, cut to him first, and then, But
that's
fine.
too obvious.
It's fine.
But like Conlon's intro is. Oh, by the way, you remember that earlier point I made about how he was walking through a brightly lit hallway? Where did Conlon come from?
On the
Total
dark
darkness. Love it.
The one makes him the bad guy.
Because in Adonis's mind, he's such a menace that he has this big, over-the-top, slow motion out of the darkness with fog and belts.
Again, I feel like this is a very amateur director move. I want to use that as a sound effect. Yeah, the sound you make when Joe pisses you off.
Just clip that and use that as a reaction.
On the topic of daddy, you two are great. Oh, thank you, monkey.
On the issues of masculinity and egos being potentially toxic.
Oh, interesting.
Do I shave with a Gillette? Gillette commercial. I would be more inclined to have bought a Gillette razor if they just excerpt.
Wait, what is it?
30 seconds
So depending on how you watch movies, you can view it as a good movie or a bad movie. And to the average viewer, someone who doesn't dig too deep, it's a good movie.
Oh, I'm digging pretty deep. I'm digging pretty deep here. Dude just announced Adonis Creed. Black with blue. You don't wear black with blue. They clash. Dark blue, that is.
Blue.
By the way, I always found the term light heavyweight amusing. It's like jumbo shrimp. Light heavyweight.
I like jumbo shrimp.
I like the guy who's playing Ricky though.
Can we agree that Creed villain is a worse series?
No, Pretty Ricky.
I feel like
I like Pretty Ricky.
I feel like they didn't really. I feel like all the people that he fought are on the same level.
But Pretty Ricky represents. Like he's a guy he's like a brawler from the streets. He's like who.
But again, they didn't make you hate him enough.
But I don't think
did he do anything to make you not like him? Like did he?
No, I don't think you're supposed to hate Ricky. I think you're just because Ricky's not the main antagonist. Ricky is just an obstacle for Adonis to overcome. But the main antagonist is Adonis himself.
But I feel like they should have utilized his character a little bit more to identify
think-
more with him.
What I associate
So
with
then you can see the parallel between them.
Pretty Ricky just represents his insecurities because he
No.
keeps mentioning like you're a false creed. You're a you were born with a silver spoon in your mouth. Like Ricky is everything that Creed worries about, but it's not the man himself that's like hateable. Right. So did Rocky because Rocky actually Pretty Ricky is actually closer to Rocky than he is to anyone else. But
I like the high shutters too.
yeah. So Creed hit him in the face, and Conway just smiles and shrugs it off. Because Pretty Ricky's whole shtick is that like he's called Pretty Ricky because nobody ever manages to make him bleed. Like that's kind of a cool character detail.
Yeah.
And when Adonis lands a punch on his face and it doesn't do anything.
All right, so this is where I've seen some of the worst makeup
Wait, what?
prosthetics in movie history.
Are you talking about the swollen?
His eye, dude? It gets worse and worse. It's so bad. At one point, he looks like the guy from Goonies.
Dude,
Like,
have you ever had your eye punched?
No, but I think they could have done a little bit better, and maybe they didn't have to
Maybe
go so
it looks
drastic.
like that.
Maybe they didn't have to go so drastic with it.
But what if it looks like that? Like in real
I've
life?
seen plenty of images of people with swollen eyes. It does not look like that. They didn't have to go to that extent, I feel.
Yeah, we're both watching it like how we want to watch it. Live to die. It's amazing, isn't it? Yes, it is. Also, there's a new hashtag, Joe Gang for
Joe Gang
Life.
for life. I don't know what this symbol is.
Be a maverick,
Hopefully it's
baby.
nothing crazy. Yeah, be mad. Be a jabrick.
What was that word that was John? Be a John Rick.
See, he didn't even get hit. He was just bobbing his head and all the sweat coming out. But what about the cancer? See, now his eye looks all healed up.
It's the camera's a little far away. Didn't they pour water on it to like step? There we go. He hits. Yes.
See, I hate when they do that too. They cut to like people watching. He's like, yeah. Sorry, I got a hair in my mouth.
By the way, I love that little detail too. Right after drawing blood on Ricky's face for the very first time, Adonis swings, gets jazzed up, and he swings a big punch and misses entirely, and the announcer makes fun of him for it. Like, I like that little detail. You think it's about to?
You're gonna kiss? No, they're gonna kiss. Oh, the chaos. Okay, I'll admit that there are some scenes that are style over substance. Yep. But nothing worse than Rocky 2, 3, 4.
Hey guys, I hope we get Creed trending for this. Just like,
Hey, Chris.
Creed was the
Thanks.
real Oscar
Yeah.
winner of that year.
We'll have to do Bob Thunder Internet Assassin. Oh, my back. Oh, my God.
If we ever do a Bob Thunder episode, you're gonna have to PD cardboard boxes all around.
Hell yeah. We'll do it. We'll watch it inside of a cardboard box.
I love this though. This is great. Because after Adonis drew blood on Conlon for the first time, you think he's about to turn the tide and start winning, but Conlon's just taken control again. So it makes you feel like the threat is still there.
Got it. Okay. Cherry Pants going great. We got some videos in the works. Thanks for asking. Love it. Just need to get them views up.
This is kind of an odd live stream though, because we're not actually showing the movie.
Yeah.
We're just talking.
Yeah.
We're just talking about it.
But we kept an average of like 25 people in here.
No,
That's awesome.
that's it. That's good because we are talking about
Yeah.
things. It's just I wish we could show. This is such a good fight scene. It's like I feel like we cut up. It's like when you're on television that can't show violence, so the announcer has to keep telling you things. But Oh God, I've never seen anything like this.
Yeah, the lighting changed a little weird though. That wouldn't happen in reality.
I like that time slows down for him. Like, you know, again, it's like Raging Bull with the Sugar Ray fight. It's like time and the camera and the shot size change according to what he's feeling in the fight. I wonder if there was any influence. Probably.
I don't know.
Jesse's watching the movie with us. You go, Jesse.
Oh hell yeah. Oh hell yeah, Jesse.
And it's interesting because pretty. Yeah, theme of the movie. Hey, it's you against you. He's just in your way. That's the theme of the movie. That's the whole idea that this movie is based around.
See, I still feel like they hit on that so lightly with as people said in here, with the stylistic choices, like facing the mirror,
The graphics,
and all that stuff, but not actually, just fucking laying it in.
Oh, blood inserts. And I like the pep talks that each slow motion blood. Oh, Pretty Ricky's not looking so pretty right now.
Where is the eye? I want to see the eye. It's the dumbest.
Joe,
it's the dumbest scene.
Joe, there's no I in the word team.
There is I in
Team
the word
Creed.
bad. Maybe not. All right. There's some good comments here.
Yeah, there's a lot going by. It's like we're trying to both watch the climax of the movie Creed while also responding to comments. Oh, Pretty Ricky just slugged Creed. Now he has a slow motion fall.
Good.
Was this the one that knocked him out? Like when they were filming it? Because I remember he actually let himself get punched.
Oh my god. That's a good fall.
Ooh.
You had to. Okay,
I think he was. I would believe he was actually punched.
That is best performance there, because you really gotta.
And I love how all the sound cuts out only when it's on him, like because you're wondering has he been knocked out. It's a great aesthetic. It's a great stylistic choice. And his mom's voice is very loud compared to the. Oh, this is so beautiful. This is so good.
This is kind of weird that when he wakes up, he's like.
Now there's Apollo.
Yeah,
and that's what makes him wake up.
Daddy, he's been avoiding Daddy the whole time. Now he's getting up for Daddy.
No, but of all the people that flashed by, he had Rocky, he had Bianca, he had his surrogate mother.
And here comes the eye. This isn't the worst of it, though.
But the one that made him get up was his dad, his real dad.
All that for nothing. Okay, this is where the makeup artist was like, I don't know what to do, Ryan. Ryan, please don't. Ryan,
I'm sure it's not that bad because I didn't register it when I first watched it. Oh, is this it?
No.
That doesn't look too bad.
No. That looks all right.
Okay, so this is the Rocky.
This is
Adonis,
now it's getting bad.
Adonis is in his corner after being nearly knocked out. Oh my God, is that it?
Now it's getting bad.
That's where he got hit, like with the near knockout. Right. In the
he
face.
could have been disqualified right there. They were cheating. Oh God. I really want to read these comments.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta prove it. What do you? And that's a good line. The line, when Rocky asks him what he has to prove, Adonis just looks at him and says that I'm not a mistake because he hasn't felt like he's belonged anywhere this entire time.
But still, I feel like
hell yeah.
I feel like it just wasn't earned. Like I'm not there with him yet.
Yes.
So now the eye.
Yes. No. But
The music kicked in was cool, but that eye is
the
really
music
bad.
and the music kicks in now as opposed to earlier, right after Rocky kind of says, "You're a Creed and I love you, kid." That's a great kind of prompt for it.
Still trying to boy to be daddy. Yeah, that he looks like he's wearing a mask.
And I like this because when the audience after this fight chants Creed's name, you know why they're doing it, because this fight is just handled so well. Adonis is just taking shots to the face over and over again, right on top of his bad eye. But they've implied that that's a weakness because Conlon is so concerned at protecting his face that he doesn't guard his gut. So Creed keeps hitting his gut.
Do you think?
Oh, and he hits him in the face. Pretty Ricky goes down.
Look at those abs.
You can grate cheese
Is that
on
an
them.
artistic choice?
Why are you focusing on his abs? Conlon is down for the first time.
Jeez. Man, these comments are coming in, man.
Yeah.
Shit.
Well, dude, it's the final fight. It's Pretty Ricky versus Creed.
Thanks for all the people that have stuck around in here. This has been pretty cool. I've really enjoyed this. Go
And
back
so-
and read these comments.
And Conlon got up again, so that's why he's
Still in the fight.
to the winner by split decision. And still the undefeated champion of the world. Pretty Ricky Conlon, but he doesn't look so
Look at
pretty.
that eye. I can't get over it.
That's not that bad.
It's like purple and orange.
Maybe that's what it looks like when you get hit hard. Oh, Pretty Ricky gives him props. Calling him the future of the division.
Mom, what have you done to like reach out to her, see how she's doing? And you didn't invite her to the fight? Why was that? Why couldn't she go to the fight? She had to look over her mansion?
Is she looking after? He's helping me fight a few things. That's the cancer.
That we're never gonna.
No, that he touched on cancer just now, so it's still in the plot. That's a loaded question.
But he hasn't been proud to be a Creed this whole time!
Okay, we should probably explain what they said. The announcer in the aftermath of the fight asked him if his father was here tonight, what would he want to say to him? And Creed just thinks for a long time and says, I want to tell him that I love him and that I'm proud to be a Creed. It took him... Sorry, I'm tearing up right now.
It's okay, man. You need a hug?
I'm
You know,
tearing
man?
up. No, you stop it. You stop
I'm
it.
not. There's no tears coming. He's really crying, guys.
You stop this, Joe.
I mean, he can't be crying. He can't even look out of that one eye.
The crowd is cheering his name, dude.
But I feel like it's still an ego thing. I feel like he still has this massive ego. And I feel
No,
like he's
but
still
you
a
know
little
why.
confused.
But it affects because like you feel why this change makes sense. Like you know why he said that as opposed to.
I feel like he's always been mad at his dad, but he never really verbally expressed why he's mad at his dad. Only saying later on in the film, I don't want to be a mistake.
Oh,
Okay.
and Vice Marshal said the mom wasn't there because she couldn't take seeing her son go through what his father because her husband died doing the boxing thing. So.
See that feels like a budget constraint. Like, you know what? We don't have the budget to fly her out because she's a big name. So we'll just say that she doesn't want to see her go through the same thing.
I do agree it would have been better for her to hand off the shorts to him in person.
Yeah, I think that could have been a
been better.
moment. That's why it felt kind of cheap.
But
And it felt like he maybe Ryan Coogler forgot to incorporate her in, or she wasn't available.
she probably
that's his
wasn't
quick
available.
fix. That's his quick fix.
I don't know what was the budget of Creed? Like, were they pressed for time?
I don't know.
Oh, this is the symbolic walk up the Philadelphia steps. with Rocky, and it's a walk.
They should have done. Should have walked up the steps with Rocky. They end the scene. Wide shot. Rocky's not there. Rocky's been dead the whole time. That would have been dope. That would have been great.
What? Rocky being dead?
Yeah, you just thought of it in his mind the whole time.
Here's the question I had. Did they keep Rocky alive because they wanted to keep bringing him back for the name recognition, or did they keep him alive for the story?
I think it would have been over.
I thought he was going to die,
Hold on.
but he is a fighter. So it makes sense. Rocky asks Creed for a break, and Creed says, no, you asked for this. One step at a time.
But he has cancer. What a dick. That's a dick move.
But this is a symbolic walk up the steps that he's going to fight this.
But the guy has cancer. We don't know. I mean, they made it seem like it was really bad.
Is that what you were talking about?
No.
They reach the end of the steps, and
I mean,
Adonis asks
I may
Rocky,
be wrong,
"How are
but-
you feeling?" And Rocky just says, "Good, real good." Was that the bro?
I don't know.
Cancer's gone. I like how quiet this is. Because he just made huge waves fighting Ricky Conlon, but now it's just him and Rocky looking over the city.
Wait.
That's all you need. Film was never about the championship.
That's it.
Directed by Ryan Coogler. Give it up. Give it up.
Coogly.
Give it up.
All right. Let's put this on pause, and let's give our final thoughts. Ryan, would you like to go first?
I would like to say that Creed is like, even in this context, like when we're distracted by live streaming, by a conversation, even that, if it can still bring me to partial tears over that moment with Creed at the end, where I feel the change that Creed has gone through, I think that makes this a good movie, if not a great one. And I think that you have some confessing to do right now about how you may have come around during this screening.
I haven't come around, but I will say I do appreciate all the artistic elements that you pointed out, because some I didn't recognize. Seeing for the second time, I did recognize some of those elements. And though I appreciate them, I feel like they weren't earned in a sense of, I feel like Ryan Coogler comes from the very basic or over-exaggerated, like, wannabe filmmaker, want to be like the best and stuff. And so I feel like he read a director's book, he read a screenwriting book, and he went to film school, and he's like, oh, I'm a filmmaker, I'm going to do it the film way. And he went by the book, but then he threw in his little artistic ideas without fully investing in the story elements that really help sell the character and the plot and story elements that really make the movie come full circle. So to me, I appreciate the artistic elements that he's added. But again, I just go back that I really didn't care for Creed from the beginning because they didn't really establish his backstory very well. They gave little breadcrumbs, and then they kind of make you solve it from yourself. And I appreciate movies that do that, but I feel like there was no payoff to it. And so I feel like his arc was he started with a big ego, and he was alone. And it just took a lot of people screaming his name to make his ego really come out and be like, yeah, I felt like the whole time he was fighting not to be recognized as his dad, but then the whole time he just wanted to be recognized as his father to get to where he is. So I don't know. I have a lot of, I still stand by that it's not a great film.
You said that Ryan Coogler rocks in the chat. Like that
God,
speaks for itself.
Oh my God, Ryan.
Please screen cap all of these.
No.
I'm pretty sure he said Creed is great earlier on.
No. It seems to not remove.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good thing.
I didn't even see you do that.
The fact is, Ryan Coogler does rock, and what you call by the book is not by the book. Like, a lot of the choices in this movie are very, like, you watch a Transformers movie and you don't say, oh, what do the colors on this set add to the emotional arc of this character? Why is this locker room this good? No, it's just, oh, it looks cool.
Well, I feel like what Coogler did was he put those elements in without really thinking about what he's actually saying to support those artistic choices.
This will be on the internet forever.
Oh no! It sounded something crap. What else? What else did I want to say? There was something else I wanted to say, and I don't recall. But yeah, other than that, if you guys enjoyed this, awesome. Thanks for those who stuck in. We had a consistent. I said it multiple times, but we had a consistent 30 to 25 people in here. That means that I feel like the people were watching the whole time, watching along with us.
Usually, when people say a range of numbers, they go with the lower one first.
Yeah,
but like you flip that. You don't. Words don't control you. Conventions don't control you.
Oh, I guess I did want to say is that I wanted to base, since a lot of people like Creed, I wanted to base my feelings off of, if they're validated or not, based off of what I thought of Black Panther, because I felt that from the beginning that Creed was a Coogly problem, and that is a writer-director problem, obviously. But I felt like he did some little mishaps in the storytelling. And then when I saw Black Panther, same mistakes. He threw in these little things that helped move the story along, but in the end weren't really earned. It didn't really make the movie as a whole feel cohesive enough to tell a story as it should have. I feel like you could have made better choices. As
an olive branch, I will say that some of like the stuff, at least in Creed, that I love, which are things that I get out of these like small scenes that are very, very like simple. Like there's a scene after he confronts Rocky where he just goes outside, like the scene with the kid on the dirt bike who rolls up and asks him if he's like that entire scene. He walks out of the building, like sits down and leans against the door. The kid says, "You're Adonis Creed's son." He says, "Yes." That's what's up. Scene end. That's like, some people, if you don't get anything out of that scene, the next scene will feel less powerful for you. So it's like, and it's subjective what you get out of any given scene.
Yeah.
So I think this debate is kind of the risk that Ryan Coogler's filmmaking style just kind of leans into, because he could have the kids say, "Well, yo, what's wrong?" And he's like, my father figure in there is.
Well, no, I see what you're saying. But my defense of that is that there are just other. I feel like there are just other little scenes that he could have just elaborated on a little bit better. And it could have just simply have done how you present the character from the beginning. I think that's huge, because you want to care about it. You want to set the stakes. And in this film, I just felt like there weren't many stakes. I wasn't really rooting for him. I didn't have a reason to root for him.
There were stakes. They were grilled at the beginning. They were called Johns, actually.
Grill. I wish there were some steaks. I mean, we didn't see any steaks from the restaurant.
Apparently, somebody in the chat was deeply offended by these cheesesteaks early in the film.
Really?
But maybe they're made incorrectly. I don't know.
You know what? We should go get some food. You want to get some food?
Let's go get some Johns.
Let's get some Johns. Hey,
you Johns, we're Johns. The place is Johns.
And if that camera's still working, which we don't know what it is, we'll say thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. Maybe we'll do more of these. Maybe we'll watch more movies. Maybe we'll do the contrast where movies we haven't seen, or movies that I like and Ryan doesn't like, or the same as today's Creed.
Also, if you've screenshotted Joe saying that he loves Ryan Coogler and or Creed, please send them to me on Twitter at rlarkin124, where I will post them and spread them around as much as possible.
Then I'm going to write this.
You are going to love a reaction to this turnabout, Joe. I think.
See, all of my messages have been tagged with Dash donation. So somebody screenshot that and send it to me so I can use it as evidence.
Thank you,
Vice. Right. Oh man, I just got $5. Yes! I should keep this open for another 20 minutes.
You have to acknowledge the super chat.
Oh yeah, super chat. Charity Pants Creed is greater than Black Panther.
Okay, yeah, I agree with that. I enjoyed both, but Creed is better for me.
I would say for a relatable film, and a film that you want to see someone go through the struggles as opposed to superheroes fighting and stuff, I would rate Creed better than Black Panther in that sense, because this would be more relatable than the superhero stuff. And I have some issues with that superhero shit, especially them fighting on that train, and then it's all CGI, and then he almost kills him, and then he takes him to the cliff to watch the sunset. And so it's kind of cheesy stuff. These are cheesy stuff.
Yeah. Well, I think Black Panther would be a good one to react to at some point in the future too.
Yeah. All right. We'll make it a Coogly marathon. All right, everybody. Thanks so much.
Bye-bye, guys.
But thanks so much for watching. Thanks for the donation, the fist of love. And we will maybe see you next time. All right. Toodaloo. I don't know how to end this stream. All right, here we go. Bye.
Big button that says end stream.
and I still got to do it again. All right, here we go.